is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed, and you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car, deer, and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the Tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Timeouts are more than just a break. They're an opportunity. At Blueton Design and Marketing, we help small town businesses shine, just like your team on game day. From creative branding to digital marketing, we're here to support your community. Let's build something great together. Visit bluetondesign.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregates, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
CoreCares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. CoreCares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dog. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
The best way to get through winter is to start planning for spring. And Grossenberg has new Honda walk-behind self-propelled mowers in stock. 3 models to choose from, residential up to commercial grade, starting at $900. Each mower features a powerful, reliable Honda GBC 200 engine, cruise control, and roto-stop technology that allows you to step away from the mower without stopping the engine. Get ready for spring with a new Honda mower from Grossenberg. Stop by one of our 9 locations today or go to grossenberg.com for more details.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods, such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box. Proud supporters of all Tanager.
When you talk about two teams that love to hate each other, two teams that compete at the highest levels, not only in their conference but also within their region, you can't leave out the Lennox Orioles and the Vermillion Tanagers. And we're not just talking about girls basketball, we're talking boys basketball as well. Good evening, welcome to Live Ticket TV, Vermillion Tanagers Live. I'm your host here on the pregame show, Heath Nimke, as we get you set for this massive doubleheader between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Lennox Orioles. Over the past couple of years, this game has meant so much both on the girls and on the boys side. And if you will, let's step away for just a moment before we talk more about the girls side of this all and talk about the boys side. And we're going to get into the pregame show on the boys' side later on, joining with Coach Hinker, joining with Coach Drake to talk both about their squads and what this game means. But first, on paper, when you look at what this game means, within Region 4A, the top four teams, Sioux Falls Christian, Dakota Valley, Lennox, and Vermillion, you put all those teams together, there is a combined 4 losses. Vermillion's being to West Central. We also saw Dakota Valley on Tuesday lose to West Central. The other 2 losses belong to the Lennox Orioles. They're one of the top 5 teams in the state, according to the media, and their 2 losses come against the best teams in their respective regions and their respective conferences, sort of, because one team doesn't play in a conference in the state of Iowa, but even in the same class, that is Sioux Falls Christian, right? We know all about Sioux Falls Christian, number 1 in Class A on the boys' side. But just on Tuesday evening, Lennox lost to Western Christian Iowa 63-47. And just so we are clear, Western Christian is not only last year's defending state champions in Class 2A in the state of Iowa, they're also going to win it again this year. They are the odds-on favorite. That Western Christian team has only lost 2 games so far this season against 2 major Nebraska teams, 3 times the size of Western Christian. So again, when I'm talking about Lennox Orioles basketball, boys basketball team, they are one of the top teams in the state of South Dakota. The only problem with Lennox is their kryptonite always seems to be the Vermillion Tanagers. You may remember the past couple of seasons when these two teams have met up in the postseason, it has always been Vermillion getting better of the Orioles in Lennox. Now, that also being said, anytime it seems like these two teams play here in Vermillion, it goes the way of the Orioles. So, what are we going to see in tonight's game? It's going to be very, very interesting. You could even say it is a top 5 matchup in the state. Some would argue that it's only a top 10 matchup, but it does look to be one of the premier games of the evening on the boys' side. All right, now let's transition to the girls' side. As we know, these two teams, again, within the Region 4A, within the DAC 12, Vermillion 8-1, it has been an easy stretch for the Vermillion girls. That's the easiest thing to say about it, all right? It take nothing away from the teams they have played. Besides the Tri-Valley game when they came back for the holiday break, that one was going to be a little interesting. Since then, Vermillion has not played a competitive game since then, okay? You have the Yankton Gazelles, who have yet to win a game yet this season. Baltic Bulldogs, who continue to grow when it comes to Class A. Again, they made that jump from Class B to Class A a couple of years ago. And then the Madison Bulldogs, a team that continues to just be in turmoil of trying to find their niche, find their way when it comes to girls basketball. So all that being said, those have been the last 3 opponents, and now all of a sudden, Vermillion begins this daunting stretch of games that are coming up, including tonight against the Lennox Orioles, the Hanson Classic matchup, which is the number 1 matchup. They drew the late evening game in the Hanson Classic. Then next Tuesday, they have Elk Point Jefferson, which is a top 10 team. Then they also play Lyman, top 5 team in Class B over in the Irene Wakanda Classic. Del Rapids is also coming up before the end of the month. Again, that is a Del Rapids team that has been rejuvenized, and they are starting to build their girls basketball program. So that just is what's up for the Vermillion girls. When we take a look at the Lennox Orioles, they're also trying to find their way right now because things maybe haven't been as smooth for the Orioles as they've expected. They knew that this conference was going to be tough, for this region, I should say, was going to be tough, but they're 6-4 overall. They find themselves at the number 5 spot, but what's been a little bit of surprise is some of the losses they've had this season. They open up their season 0-2 against Dakota Valley, Sioux Falls Christian, 2 of the top 5 teams in the state of South Dakota on girls basketball. But what's been interesting is maybe some of their other losses. You go back before the holiday break, they lost to a Wagner team, which some people would say that Wagner team is not as good as what they've been in years past. They also lost to a Mount Vernon Plankinton team that lost a lot of talent this year, but at the same time, the Titans have really shown that they are a good girls basketball team. So interesting to see. This one certainly is a make-right game for the Orioles. They would love nothing more than to upset the number 2 team in Class A. The question is, though, can they do it? Because they have struggled, or I should say they haven't beat some of the top teams in Class A so far. All that is prime. That is what's for our doubleheader tonight between these 4 teams. A lot of prove it, not only for these teams, but when it comes to this region as well, because this game is going to be one that is looked at in a month and a half, or even just a month from now, on whether you win or have lost that game and what it could mean. In fact, you actually look at things, we are a month away from the postseason. It's crazy to think that we're basically at the halfway point, but that's how quickly these games are going to start coming over the next couple of weeks. That being said, as I mentioned, John Brooks is going to sit down with us and talk about this huge matchup. We'll also take a look more at the standings and get Spencer and Cole Larsch's perspective on this game, and a whole lot more coming up during our pregame show. I'm Heath Nimke. Our first commercial break is now. When we come back, we'll take a look more at what happened on Tuesday evening and get you set for the state of South Dakota on what's happening tonight. That's all on the way next here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Crops and stronger yields, count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com. What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank and Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank and Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a checkmark. All in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Well, good evening and welcome inside the Birdcage here in Vermillion High School, Vermillion, South Dakota, for a DAC-12 and Region 4A clash between the Orioles of Lennox and the Tanagers of Vermillion. Thanks for tuning in. Vermillion Tanagers Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch, alongside me, Spencer Buley, as the JV game getting wrapped up. The Lennox JV squad leads the Tanager JV squad 46-11, just under 4 minutes to go in that ball game there. This game, a tale of two teams that have had, well, a couple of different stretches throughout their season, Spencer Buley. And as you know, this is a Vermillion Tanagers team that, well, just to put it lightly, has not played the best of competition in a while. And we'll get to it a little bit in the John Brooks pregame interview. He says the girls haven't played a full 32 minutes since the Tri-Valley game, so it might be a little interesting on that side of things to see how Vermillion comes out in this one.
Yeah, I will say, through this stretch of games for Vermillion, they've stayed locked in and they stayed focused, and I think that that's a huge takeaway over these last couple of weeks for the Tanagers, is that, that despite a lot of opportunities where you could have seen them fall asleep, you could have seen them come out and play in four quarters because they don't put away teams. They've been able to put away teams early. They've been able to get off to hot starts and maintain that. But, Cole, I think to your point, it's going to be a little bit of a tester for the girls. They haven't really seen great competition other than themselves in practice in the last couple of games, so maybe a little bit of a wake-up call for them tonight.
Again, Vermillion comes in at 8-1, as you can see on your screen, number 2 in the Class A media polls. We look over at the Lennox Orioles side of things, 6-4 in the season. You might say, okay, 4 losses, probably play a little bit of a tough schedule. Their 2 opening games were against 2 of the best teams in the state. Number 4, Dakota Valley, who currently sits 9-0, lost by 2. And number 1, Sioux Falls Christian, who currently sits also 9-0. They're number 1 in the media poll. They lost by them by just 13 points. And then you look at kind of their other losses. They lost at a Wagner squad that some may say they're decent, some may say they're kind of falling off a little bit and only have 1 player. And then they also lost to a Mount Vernon Plankton squad at Mount Vernon in a game where Lennox only put up 33 points. So it seems like this Lennox team, when they go on the road, they kind of struggle a little bit offensively. They're going to have to turn that around here against Vermillion.
Yeah, Vermillion's got a great defense too. We've talked so much about the amount of turnovers that they forced in the last couple of games. So for Lennox, they're going to have to be really smart with the ball tonight. It's not great knowing that you don't put up big numbers on the offensive end coming into a place like the Birdcage. So that could definitely be one of the stories of the game tonight.
Yeah, this is a Lennox team that comes in, like I said, 6-4. They score 50 points a game. They allow 40. For the Vermillion side, a little bit lower scoring average than what we saw early in the year, but also it's been a lot of JV time in these second halves. They come in again 8-1, 55 points a game. They allow right around that 38 mark as well, so kind of balanced when you come to think of it. And you look at the overall standings as well. Not only is this a big conference game, 2 solid teams, but this is a pivotal game in the region standings because as it sits right now, Dakota Valley and Sioux Falls Christian tied atop Region 4A on the girls' side of things, 46.333 seed point average, both at 9-0. Vermillion at 8-1, they sit in third at 44.111. Lennox currently sits in fifth at 6-4, 42.6 points. So kind of add that all in, all these factors into it. This is going to be a pretty big game here inside the Birdcage.
Yeah, and I think when you look at this matchup on paper, it's really hard to get a feel for how this is going to go just because of the way the schedules have been. Lennox has played a really, really competitive schedule. Vermillion, dead opposite. They have not seen a lot of competitive teams this season. So all factors considered, Cole, I think this is a matchup that we're going to see a lot of eyes tuned in on, and I think that it's going to be, as you mentioned, huge in determining the region, and it's a matchup that Vermillion's really going to want to win despite Lennox being a very solid team.
And when you also talk about the seed points coming in, not only the region standings, obviously only 2 teams going to be able to come out of this very stacked Region 4A, but as it sits as a whole right now in the entire class of South Dakota Class A girls basketball, Dakota Valley Sioux Falls Christian tied for first at the top. You go down a little bit, Vermillion currently sits in 9th place according to the overall standings. Lennox right now, even though they're 6-4, 4 losses against teams that have good records, they sit 16th. So if by some magical reason the season would end right now and the playoffs started, no reason to know anything like that, Vermillion would be at Lakota Tech, Lennox would be at Dakota Valley in a region clash. Just, again, adding to the importance and significance of this game here.
Yeah, and it's crazy, Cole. It's crazy to have the top 2 teams in your region be at the top of Class A. I mean, this is such a competitive region, and it's it's kind of like a Big Ten or an SEC if you look at the Power 5 conferences. I mean, it's really tough, and it's a lot of fun for these girls to play in, but at the same time, it's like every game matters so much, and it's going to make these matchups really fun when it comes down to 2 really good teams like this that are trying to fight for a top spot.
Girls JV game just wrapped up, 45-15, the final of that one in favor of Lennox. We switch over quickly while we have a chance because it'll be Heath Nimke with a couple of interviews before that boys game. Lennox comes in number 5 team overall in the media poll, 6-2 on the season. A lot of returning guys, a couple of key guys coming back. Vermillion, obviously, great win on Tuesday, 7-1. They sit number 2 in the region. Lennox sits number 4. Vermillion comes in number 9 in Class A according to seed points. Lennox Orioles come in number 12. Again, these are 2 teams, especially on the boys' side. Not only the girls, but also the boys. They have a lot of history. It seems like whenever Lennox has a really good team, Vermillion comes in just like last year in the overtime thriller, beats them, upsets them. They can't make it anywhere further in the playoffs. We're going to have not only 1 on the girls' side, but 2 very good games here in the Birdcage.
Yeah, Lennox wants to beat Vermillion so badly here in the Birdcage. I mean, we talked to assistant coach Bud Meyer last night, or 2 nights ago, I guess. That would have been on Tuesday. Yep. But, Bud Meyer said it himself. There's a lot of history between these 2. It's a game that's going to see a lot of passion, a lot of emotion. And Vermillion's playing great basketball right now, but anything goes in a game like this. I mean, again, Lennox trying to come up here and make some noise in the Birdcage.
6-4 versus 8-1 and number 2 in the media poll. You look over at the other side, 6-2 and 7-1 on the boys' side. Number 5 Lennox coming up. Should be 2 very entertaining games. That does it for us on the pregame show. For Spencer Buley and Cole Larsch, we're going to step aside. When we come back, Heath Nimke yesterday caught up with head coach Adam Quayle of the Lennox Orioles. A couple of big notes for them. How are they going to get past their their offensive struggles on the road, and how is his a friendship with John Brooke going to play into how he might change up his coaching a little bit. That is all after this 1-minute break. You're watching Tanager basketball on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
This is the Vermillion Tanagers pregame show on Live Ticket TV and Vermillion Tanagers Live. I'm your pregame host, Heath Nimke. Before we get it back out to Cole Larsch and Spencer Buley, it's time to get into our coaches' conversations. John Brooks is coming up here in a little bit, but right now it's time to catch up to one of my favorite interviews as always. It's Coach Adam Quayle of the Lennox Orioles talking about his group again. This Orioles team comes in 6-4 overall, kind of middle right now of the pack within this region. This would be a huge win for this Lennox Orioles team if they can knock off number 2 Vermillion. But so far when it comes to offensive production on the road, it's been a struggle for the Lennox Orioles. Again, 6-4 overall, but 2 of their losses this season on the road against Mount Vernon Plankinton and Wagner, also Region 5A teams, if you will, have scored less than 40 points. So it seems like this team may struggle a little bit when they're on the road when it comes to the big moments. But what is Coach Quayle's kind of answer for that, and how does he get his team ready for tonight's matchup? Here he is on our pregame show. It's head coach of the Lennox girls basketball team, Adam Quayle. Coach, you get ready to take on the Vermillion Tanagers. I know this is a big rivalry game for you, and of course, a longtime friendship with head coach John Brooks. But before we talk about this game against the Vermillion Tanagers, I want to talk about the season. Not that it doesn't get off to a good start, but you have some of the top 5 teams in Class A, Dakota Valley, Sioux Falls Christian, to open up your season. And with injuries with your squad as well, how tough was it to open up the season for your group?
Yeah, it just brought challenges in knowing what to expect from our team. Some new faces had to step in and contribute. And, you know, even though we started out with 2 losses, I thought we had a lot of growth throughout those 2 games. I thought we competed really well. We dropped to Dakota Valley by, 2 is all, and then gave Sioux Falls Christian a run. And those 2 teams still haven't lost yet. So to learn from those games and then just continue improving, you know, I like where we're at right now.
You talk about improving. I think one thing that really helps with improving as well is having experience behind improving. You can rely on girls to get specific things done because you can trust them because they have been in the program for so long. They know what to expect from you as a coach. Speaking of that experience, how great has it been having so many familiar names, so many familiar faces back within this group?
Oh, yeah. Our seniors do a great job. Gavin Hurlin and Ryan Hansen, you know, their leadership has been great this year. Andy Peters has been with us for a long time, so she knows her role. And then just throughout the year, Libby Krantz is a freshman. Tori Gertis is a 8th grader, and Bergen Muster is an 8th grader, and they've just gotten more and more comfortable as the year has gone on and as they've gotten more playing time.
You talk about some of these common last names as well because they have older brothers that play on the Lennox boys basketball team. Can you help us out a little bit more with that dynamic? Is there a lot of beating up on the little sisters going on? How are these such basketball families?
You know, I just assume, you know, they got drug along to their older siblings' games, and they had no other choice than to pick with basketball and start dribbling themselves. But you know, I'm glad they did because they're really good players.
Well, you get ready for this Vermillion Tanager game. I know, as we talked earlier, that it's going to be a huge matchup. But sometimes when I have these huge matchups like this, girls can get tight. We have seen multiple times from your group that at points you have struggled shooting against Wagner, against Mount Vernon Plankinton. How do you make sure that doesn't happen tonight?
You know, if I knew that answer, I think I'd make a lot of money. But hopefully just being in those situations multiple times will just keep getting us more and more comfortable. I think one thing we can improve on is just being a little more choosy with our shots in those situations, you know, having some more patience, getting some ball reversals so you get comfortable with the ball in your hands are ways that we can hopefully improve in our shooting percentages in those type games.
Last year, you were one of the first coaches to come out and say that it's going to be Vermillion who wins a Class A title because of how good this talent is on their team. And don't get me wrong, they lost a couple key pieces with graduation last year, but they retain a lot of their offensive production as well. What makes this team scary once again in your eyes?
Yeah, I think it would make a bigger difference if the people they brought in were younger. But, the two starters that are stepping in, I mean, they're still seniors. So they've still been around a long time. They've been coached up for at least 4 years. So it's tough when you play against a team of seniors. It's always going to be a tough game just because, they have all that experience.
Yeah, they got a lot of experience, and their way they're able to move the basketball around. We know about Brooke Jensen's height and size. I know that's always a key factor that a lot of teams want to shut down. But Ruvers is also really able to distribute the basketball extremely well, one of the best young point guards in the state of South Dakota. Which one of those two do you key on more, try to slow them down?
Hopefully both. We just got to try to stay in front of Rubers, and in throwing Casey Hansen there, we just can't give them wide open looks. We can't let them get to the rim and not have extra help there, and we gotta have to keep Brooke off the boards and just have to be physical with her, make everything tough for her, and then. I know they have lots of experience, but, when things aren't going your way, there's a better chance that you just get a little down on yourself. So, we're just going to try to be solid, stick to our defensive fundamentals, bring the intensity, and, hopefully find some success.
Have you communicated with your girls on the importance of this game, knowing that it's not only a DAC-12 game, but also a Region 4A game, that it could have a lot of implications later on in the season?
No. I don't want them to get too worked up about it. I think we're better at this point, just knowing, hey, it's a game in front of us. Like, let's just win this game, just keep on improving, and then wherever we land at the end of the year, we'll find a way to compete and give it our best shot.
Once again, that is head coach Adam Quayle here on our pregame show, talking about what's going to take for his team to try to shut down this Vermillion offense and also to get his team going as well offensively. Again, that's maybe the one big talking point about this Lennox girls basketball team. 4 losses on the season, and again, you can excuse the first 2 losses against Dakota Valley and Sioux Falls Christian, just great competition. But Mount Vernon Plankinton on the road and also Wagner on the road, the girls of Lennox have had a tough night shooting. And again, on the road here tonight against the Vermillion Tanagers in a hostile environment. Can the Oriole offense get going, or does John Brooks have a plan? We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll talk to John more about what the game plan is and talk about this huge matchup. That's on the way next here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these,
welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
This is the Vermillion Tanagers pregame show on Live Ticket TV and Vermillion Tanagers Live. I'm Heath Nimke, part of the pregame show. Before we get it back over to Cole Larsch and Spencer Buley, it's time to get into our coaches conversation with head coach John Brooks, talking about his group. It's been a great season so far for this Vermillion girls basketball team, but are they ready for what is about to happen for them over the next couple of weeks? We talked about it on Tuesday, and the game that happened against Madison, and going back to what coach is about to talk about here is, has the competition been enough to get them ready? Again, the last 3 games has seen Vermillion cruise to easy victories, but now with Lennox tonight, you have the Hanson Classic coming up on Saturday, Elk Point, Jefferson, and even Lyman next week. Are the girls exactly ready for some of the premier top teams in the state of South Dakota when it comes to girls basketball? And to focus a little bit more specifically on the Lennox Orioles, a team that is 6-4 overall, but they have a lot of great athletes. How do they look to shut down this Oriole girls basketball team? To answer those questions and dive in more into this matchup, here he is on our pregame show. It's head coach of the Vermillion girls, John Brooks. Coach Brooks, you just got done wrapping up your game against the Madison Bulldogs, and this has been, as we talk about, a stretch of the last 3 games that hasn't been the most competitive games, if you will, but we still need to see your team execute at a high level. Didn't see a whole lot of scoring, kind of like we didn't last week against the Gazelles in the second half. See that same thing against Madison, but again, maybe not going to worry about it as much. Your takeaway from the game last night against the Madison Bulldogs?
You know, like you said, we're kind of in that tough situation the last 3 games just because our kids haven't played a full game. And, but we kind of go back to every single game we've scored in the 40s in the first half. So our girls are coming out focused and ready and playing the way we want them to from the beginning of the game. So that's been really nice to see. But like you said, a little bit of concern heading into, you know, a really, really tough stretch we have coming up. And our girls haven't played, you know, a full 32 minutes since the Tri-Valley game. So hoping, you know, obviously we have plenty of rest, but hoping our lungs are there, our conditioning is there to play full 32 minutes, and I guess we're going to find out.
I was going to say, how about we ask that question? From your perspective, I feel like I know the answer. You're going to tell me yes, but are the girls ready for what's about to come over these next couple of weeks?
You know, it's one nice thing about having a veteran group is, you know, they've been playing these games for the last 3 or 4 years, most of them, and they know exactly what it's like to play tough competition. You know, our schedule has been extremely difficult year in and year out, and we're very familiar with Lennox just because, you know, we play them in summer league. They're in our region. They're in our conference. We see them often. Our girls know their girls. Their girls know our girls. So, we know obviously our group knows what to expect, and it's just time to get out there. I think we're excited to play a full 32-minute game here.
I know also a coach's cliche, we're just worried about the next game in front of us, Heath. We're not looking ahead. But come on, give it to me, John, a little bit. Is this the biggest game right now for your squad, or coming up over the next couple of weeks with the Hanson Classic, Elk Point, Jefferson, even Lyman coming up on the 25th? Which one do you look at and say, this is the one that worries me the most?
Well, I'm going to give it a cliche answer. And I think anytime you have Lennox come into your gym, a rival game, this is we tell our girls, that's kind of why you play. And, you know, these are the nights, the girl-boy doubleheader is going to be a packed gym. Every time we play Lennox, it's just an absolute battle. So we're really excited for this game. And we kind of told the girls that we understand the stretch that we have coming up. And but we've been in these situations. We've had these stretches before. And we really do. We got to take it one practice at a time to get prepared for the next team that we're playing and be in the moment and play that game. So we're just excited to play Lennox right now, and we'll take it from there.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about Lennox, because it does confuse me a little bit. 6-4 coming into it. I can give you the first 2 losses of the season. I've seen both those teams. But what kind of concerns me is I've also gotten my chance to see Wagner when it comes to girls basketball. I don't think they're one of the top teams compared to what they've been over the past couple of years, and a very good loss against Mount Vernon Plankinton. Otherwise, Lennox has taken care of business against the teams that they should. So 6-4, halfway through their season. What have you seen on film? What makes this a dangerous Orioles team?
well, they can all shoot it. And I think that's the one thing, you know, the general public just looks at scores, right? And, oh, they lost this game. And you actually go back and watch the film, and they just shot it really, really poorly against Wagner and Mount Vernon Plankington. And they had a lot of wide open looks from their really good shooters, and the ball just would not go in the hoop for them. And those nights happen, and it's tough when that happens. But, you know, they go on the road and get a win against a really good Groton team. We're up 15 in the second half of that game, and they're starting to play like themselves again. So they're extremely talented. They bring two very, very skilled eighth graders off the bench that are both 5'10", long, athletic. They have good size, obviously Hanson inside, and then they have really good three-point shooters on the outside with Peters, Bosma, Herlin. They got a lot of balance, and they're well coached. I think that's a big deal. They're really, really well coached on the defensive end as well, so they present a lot of challenges.
Yeah, I know you're a long-standing friendship and relationship there with Coach Quayle, and I know you give him a lot of respect, and he gives you a lot of respect as well. But you did say, okay, they've had some bad shooting nights, and no doubt about it, that comes just as a player in general. Sometimes when you see that first three or that first shot go in, it builds your confidence. You miss a few, it kind of dents your confidence a little bit, but that's also something the defense on those teams is also giving them looks. So for your group, what's the strategy to make them have bad looks? What's the strategy to make them not get their confidence going and see buckets go in?
You can't give them uncontested shots, and that's the one thing. Even if it's a late contest, we got to get our hand up and contest every single shot that they take. If you're going to let Bosma and Peters sit out there and shoot uncontested threes, they're going to knock them down all night. So we got to be really good on the perimeter with our defense of the contesting shots, and then keeping the ball in front of us. You know, they're going to run a lot of dribble drive action at you. They got quick guards. They're trying to get in the paint and kick the shooters. The Kranz freshman girl for them, has really been knocking them down lately. So, like I said, you got to keep the ball in front. You got to contest shots. And you got to finish with the rebound. There's not a big secret to it. You just got to be really solid defensively.
And there maybe isn't some big secrets when it comes to your team offensively either. Everyone knows they need to shut down the big three. And something that Centerville did a very good job was they would eliminate just one of the big three and say, all right, the other two need to get going. The other two need to beat us. Tri-Valley had that length that they could really sub girls in and out. You talk about Lennox is also able to do that. So Lennox and Coach Quayle are going to come in with this strategy to shut down your big three. What's your counterattack when it comes to that?
No, I think that's the thing, kind of our four role players, so to speak, as we've been talking about, have really been gaining confidence here over the last few games and have been scoring the basketball. So we got to be balanced offensively. And yes, we need Taylor, Brooke, and Casey doing their thing. There's no doubt about it. But Maya, Madigan, those kids, we're getting them to spots that we think they can be successful, and they're getting comfortable with that. When Amar and Lexi come in, they got to be looking for their spots. Amar on the post, Lexi for her shots on the outside. We're going to need everybody to contribute, and you just cannot go through the season playing really good competition like we're going to see with not everybody on the floor scoring the basketball. So we're excited for tonight. We're going to kind of figure out where exactly we sit right now, and we'll have to make adjustments and go from there.
And that's the final question I want to go off of is you're excited to be at home, and no offense, the home games that you have had, which has been very few so far this season, if I might add, but maybe not the biggest of competition or going to bring in a big crowd because of just the other teams, if you will. But tonight is not that night. Not only are Vermillion fans going to pack the gym, but Lennox, it's a quick trip right down the road, and they're really excited about both the boys and the girls team. It's going to be a packed environment. How excited are the girls to feed off of this type of excitement in the Birdcage?
We only get 7 home games this year. That's due to all the classics that we're in and that kind of thing. So when we're at home, we're excited to be here, and play well on our home floor in front of our fans. And like you said, Lennox is going to bring a great crowd as well. So kind of goes back to this what high school basketball is all about, is nights like this. So we're excited. I know that they're excited to come in here. They get a chance to knock us off on our home floor. We're trying to protect our home floor, and it should be a fun night.
Once again, that is head coach John Brooks here on our pregame show talking about this huge matchup against the Lennox Orioles. And again, the big question going into tonight's game, are the Vermillion girls ready? Yes, they're ready when it comes to the competition they have faced so far this season, but the last 3 games, has it left them kind of a little weary, or are the Vermillion girls ready to go when it comes to a big game like this? And are they ready to go for what's about to happen over the next 2 weeks, seeing some of the best competition across the state of South Dakota? We are about to find out. This has been the Vermillion Tanagers pregame show here on Live Ticket TV. I'm Heath Nimke. We're going to step aside. When we come back, Cole Larsch and Spencer Buley will have coverage of the doubleheader tonight between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Lennox Orioles. That is on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
Know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today. Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Well, the wait is over. The time is now. Lennox, Vermillion, Birdcage. Two very good matchups here in the DAC-12 Region 4A doubleheader we got on tap. Thanks for tuning in. Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch alongside me, Spencer Buley. Let's get you your starting lineups. First for the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Orioles of Lennox again coming in 6-4 on the season. At forward, a fresh 5'11 freshman number 5, Libby Kranz, comes in 8.5 points, 5 rebounds a game. At guard, a 5'1 senior number 14, Gavin Herlin, 2.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, 5 assists. A ball game for her. At forward, a 5'11 senior number 21, Ryan Hansen, 11.5 points, 4 rebounds a ball game. Coming into this one, at guard, a 5'1 junior, a number 24, Andy Peters, 10.5 points, 2 rebounds a ball game for her. And at guard, a 5'5 sophomore, number 30, Carly Bosma, 5.5 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists for her coming in a ball game. Paul McVeigh, Cray Pearson, the assistant coaches. The head coach is Adam Quayle again. They come in 6-4 on the season. For the home squad, it's the same starting 5 that we have seen all season up to this point. A 5'8 senior guard, number 1, Casey Hansen, 12.5 points, 5 rebounds a ball game. 6' senior guard, number 5, Maya Halverson, 3.5 points, 3 rebounds a ball game for her. A 5'5 freshman guard, number 11, Taylor Roovers, 13.5 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists a ball game, 40 steals in total for her so far on the season. 5'8 senior guard, number 12, Madigan Wallen, 2.5 points, 2 rebounds for her a ball game. And a 6'1 senior guard, number 33, Brooke Jensen, 17 points, 7 rebounds a game for her on the season. Doug Hansen, Carrie Jensen, Kelly Knutson, the assistant coaches. The head coach is John Brooks. Again, 8-1, and number 2 in the Class A media poll come the Tanagers. Number 9, according to the rankings in Class A, according to Seed Points, number 3 in the region. For the Lennox Orioles, number 16 in Class A, number 5 in their region. Kranz and Halverson, they get the tap, and it is won by the Orioles of Lennox. They're going left to right on your screen in the away black uniforms, letters and numbers in white, and orange trim all around. Vermillion in the home whites, letters and numbers in red with black trim. Right-handed lay-in is off the mark for Bosma. Defensive rebound controlled by Brooke Jensen, and here come the Tanagers across the logo. Man-to-man defense for the O's. Halverson, Roovers left corner. She'll drive baseline through contact, lay-in off the glass, and good for 2. Quick 2 points for Taylor Roovers, coming off a 20-point contest on the first half of Tuesday against the Madison Bulldogs. Hansen drives, lay-in, count the bucket, and the foul for the senior Ryan Hansen.
Yeah, I think that, Cole, one of the big stories about this game tonight is Vermillion facing some size. I mean, generally, for the most part, Brooke Jensen has the size advantage coming into most matchups throughout the season, but right away you see it. Hansen's going to have some size. Libby Kranz is going to have some size. It's going to be tough for Vermillion down low.
Free throw no good for Hansen comes in a 56% free throw shooter. So we're still tied 2-2. 55 seconds gone here in quarter number 1. Tanagers now have it. Roovers, she'll pull up from 15. Contact, nothing called. And the rebound is controlled by Andy Peters. John Brooks, he'll want an explanation about that one going down. Kranz has it. Looking inside, Hansen turns, left-handed up and good for Ryan Hansen. 4 points already for her, and she comes in the leading scorer just over 11. Orioles come in averaging 50 points a game. They allow 40. Vermillion scores 55. They allow 38 so far on their season. 6.5 to play in the first quarter. Jensen has it on the right side. Casey Hansen inside. She spins. 8-foot turnaround with the left hand is off the mark and no good. And the defensive rebound controlled by Gavin Herlin. That's her first. Picks up her dribble. Now gets it over to Andy Peters. Into the corner, Bosma. Drives baseline. Back to Hansen. Get to the elbow. Now tries kicking it out. It's tipped around. Stolen away by Madigan Wollen. First steal for her. Crowd on both sides starting to fill in. Again, getting started ahead of schedule. But there's nothing wrong with that. Now we're going to get a quick foul out front.
Think of that last possession, Cole. Lennox passed up a little bit too many good shot opportunities. It looked like they were going to get something out of it, but they had too many girls open at too many points handling the ball there to not get a shot up and have that possession result in steal.
4-2, 6 minutes to play. And I said good crowd on both sides. I meant it. It is a almost packed house here on this near side as we see it to my right. Far side, good amount of Tanager fans. Again, slowly starting to continue to fill in. Hansen inside of the block. Lay in, no, but we're going to get a foul called. And Casey Hansen will go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
I tell you what, Cole, you talk about the crowd here tonight. One thing that I've noticed, I'm sure you can feel it too, is the intensity of this evening really just feels so much higher than what we felt all season with Vermillion, kind of on both sides, but especially here tonight. You know these girls are excited to get a really competitive game finally under their belts, and they get it here tonight with Lennox, but you can kind of just feel in this arena there is a lot of intensity right now.
Hansen 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 75% free throw shooter on her season so far. First point for her. Tori Gertis, the 5'10", 8th grade forward, checked in, number 33. Quickly the opposite way, Libby Kranz left-handed lay-in is good on that left side, and it's 6-3 in favor of the Orioles. 5:25 to play. Tanagers break the press. Halverson out of the pass of Madigan Wollen. First 2 points for Halverson in the ball game. Back to a 1-point game, 6-5.
Yeah, that's good to see Maya Halverson getting involved early, because I think for Vermillion, this is a game in which you're going to have to rely on more than just your big three.
Ball poked away by Brooke Jensen. Got it up ahead, Halverson now. An offensive foul going to be called on Maya Halverson. Lowered the shoulder, extended the elbow. Now quick 2 fouls on Maya Halverson. So 2 players in foul trouble on both sides. Carly Bosma for the Orioles, Maya Halverson for the Tanagers.
That's what you don't want, is now your starters getting into foul trouble early. I don't see Halverson having issues with that tonight, but a couple quick fouls early on. Hopefully she stays away from that.
Wide open right side lay-in is good for Tori Gertis. First 2 points for her in the ball game. Comes in averaging 4.5 off the bench. Back up to a 3-point game, 8-5. Hansen, jab step and the 3 ball is off the mark and no. Rebound controlled by Gertis, and now a rebounding foul going to be called on Madigan Wollen. So uncharacteristic here from the Tanagers so far. 3 team fouls, just 3.5 gone.
Yeah, and it's going to hurt them a lot more than it's hurt them in the past, because they've been able to, again, this is a team that we haven't seen get into foul trouble very often, but on instances like tonight, getting into foul trouble is going to have much deeper repercussions as this ball game unfolds, as opposed to some of the other games that they've played recently.
Hansen goes right, tries going back left. Stolen away by Roovers. Coast-to-coast lay-in, no good for Taylor Roovers. Herlin with the rebound, she got it back. Now her layup after that second steal is off the mark. But a foul, and Taylor Roovers will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic, Cole, because, last game, Taylor Roovers, again, 20 points. A lot of those were off of turnovers, where they were quick, fast break, wide open layups. It could be a little bit of a sign of kind of the pace of this game, kind of catching Vermillion a little bit off guard. They haven't played in a game this fast, really at any point in this season so far.
74% free throw shooter is Roovers, and she misses both of them. Offensive rebound to Casey Hansen. So a couple uncharacteristic plays from this entire Tanager squad so far. They're down 3 halfway through quarter number 1. It is 8-5. Thanks for tuning in. Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch alongside me, Spencer Buley. Wallen has it on the right side, gets it off to Hansen in the corner. Couple dribbles now, Jensen. Pump fake, she'll drive middle. Floater, no good for Jensen. Offensive rebound controlled. Her putback, that one's blocked away. Vermillion just can't get anything going, and now a quick steal by Casey Hansen. Bodies hitting the floor, pass inside. Lay-in is good by Brooke Jensen. A lot of bodies hitting the floor. So far, no whistles. 8-7, 3.5 to go. Lennox quickly going left to right. Kranz has it, looks around, gets double teamed, now swings it over. Herlin now in the corner, it's Hansen. Hansen wants to go left, partially blocked away by Ruvers, stolen by Hansen. Coast to coast, lay in, no. Casey Hansen, that is, but she is fouled. Casey Hansen will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
I'm a little bit surprised, Cole, that we haven't seen a timeout from either squad so far here in this first quarter, because especially with the fouls and some of the turnovers here and the missed shots from Vermillion, it seems like both of these teams are kind of struggling right now with the speed at which this game is being played.
First free throw is good for Casey Hansen. Tanagers are now 2 of 5. Number 44, Amara Thomas, the 5'10 senior center, checks in for Vermillion. And number 12, Bergen Musser, the 5'10 8th grade forward, checks in. Second free throw is good for Hansen. Now 3 points, all from the free throw line. First lead of the ball game for Vermillion is 9-8. Step back into their 1-3-1 zone.
Those were a big couple of free throws there from Casey to kind of settle this thing down for Vermillion, get them a little bit more comfortable, leads back on their side.
Herlin inside to Kranz. Kranz double team, now bounce past Musser. Musser blocked away, but it's controlled on the inside by Tori Gertis. 4 points now for her in the ball game off the bench, and Lennox has the lead back 10-9.
Now, Gertis, a 5'10 8th grader. That's good to see her get involved early. She's got a lot of athleticism and is another one of those taller girls that Vermillion's going to have to keep an eye on.
Ruvers to Jensen. Shot misses everything, but the Mighty Mouse gets back the offensive rebound. Hansen straight away, no good. Rebound controlled that time by Andy Peters. Still a 1-point ball game. Orioles want to push. Herlin has it. Tries getting inside, and now we're going to get a kickball call, so possession will stay with Lennox underneath their own hoop. Again, fans still continuing to file into the birdcage. A couple of them on the Vermillion side, quite a few on this away side, as you might call it, behind the scorer's table. Orioles throw it in to Peters. Peters in the corner, Herlin. Back to Peters. 22 on the shot clock for the Orioles. Try getting it inside to Musser. Goes between her legs and between Thomas's legs. Ball is still loose. Still controlled by the Orioles, and now Thomas will eventually end up with it and hands it off to Jensen.
Great idea by Thomas there to pull out, because she was about to challenge 3 Orioles, and I thought for a moment she was going to take them on, but smart play right there from the veteran.
10-9, Hansen. Another pass. Lexi Hansen for 3. Got it. Good shot there by Alexis Hansen. And now a 2-point lead, biggest lead of the ball game for the Tanagers. It is 12-10, 95 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Inside lay-in off the glass and good for 2. Abby Kranz out of the assist of Bergen Musser. And once again, we are all tied up, 12-12. Jensen gets the pass and crosses the half-court stripe for the Tanagers. 80 seconds to go, guarded closely by Musser. Now bounce pass to get it away. Hansen's got it over to Hansen. A lot of Hansens in this game, 3 of them to be exact. I think that's the tie for the most all season. Ruvers step back 3. That one's off the mark, no. Offensive rebound put back, good for Amara Thomas. Comes in off the bench, couple big plays, a steal, an offensive rebound, and a putback. 2-point lead for the Tanagers, 14-12.
I'm telling you, Cole, the way that Vermillion's going to win this game is getting some players that are outside of their big 3 involved. Amara Thomas, Lexi Hansen coming through big right now for them.
And a pass fired out of bounds, Andy Peters. Tried looking for Gertis, and Gertis went out, and the pass went in. So turnover, possession to the Vermillion Tanagers. Couple TV stations, but some photographers here also now inside the birdcage. So just adding to every element of what has now become a pretty good rivalry. between the Tanagers and the Orioles. Roovers double screen, lay in, no. Offensive rebound, Amara Thomas. One dribble, put back is good for her. Amara Thomas now tied for the leading scorer in the ball game, and the Tanagers have a 4-point lead, 16-12. And now just about gets another steal. We'll credit her with that one as well. 2 steals for the senior, and shot clock is off for the Tanagers. Roovers will bring it across, 14 to go on the game clock. Roovers with 10, guarded by Herlin. She'll cross over left. Kick out Jensen. Left corner 3. In and out, no good. Rebound Libby Kranz. They got some time to work with. It's poked away again. Full court heave, going to be well short, and that is how the first quarter will end. Your score, Tanagers 16, Orioles 12. Back to the Birdcage in 60 seconds on Vermillion Tanagers Live Ticket TV.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed, and you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Second quarter action here in Vermillion Tanagers Live Ticket TV. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be coming from, especially on the SD Score Feed app. Thanks to our partnership with them, getting that scroller of games on that bottom of your screen. Tanagers start with the basketball. Pass is tipped out of bounds. And, of course, I don't have my replay quite set up, but here you go, Spencer. Originally called in favor of Vermillion. Now it's turned over, and possession back to Lennox. As now we get, I even configured the replay because I knew we were going to need it at some point, and I still forgot.
I think they got it right on the floor. I do think they got it right. There was about to be a riot coming down from the Lennox side here if that call stayed.
I was going to say, this crowd right in front of us to our right all stood up and was like, what in the world was that? Three-pointer is good by Carly Bosma on the right side, and just like that, the section right to my right stands back up. So if I miss a couple numbers and names, that's why. I've got that obstructed view alert. I need to call up a college football campus tour. Tell them we got some obstructed views. Roovers, she'll answer back with a left wing 3. 5 points for her now in the ball game. Officially the leading scorer in the ball game with 5. A lot of balanced scoring both sides. 19-15. 1 minute gone here in the second. Hanson spins left again, wants to go left. She is left-handed. Shot well too strong. Rebound to Roovers, her third. And she'll bring it up. Long 3 for her. Got it. Oh, my. Taylor Roovers. That is not a play you see from any other freshman.
And it's not
one from 28.
It's not one she should be making either. Like, logically, you look at that, and every high school coach across the country is going, what are we doing? You got to understand it's Taylor Roovers. There's a huge percentage that shot's going in.
Timeout called by head coach Adam Quill. We're going to step aside, take it with him back to the Birdcage in 60 seconds.
And our thoughts get too much to bear. Finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Out here.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to the Birdcage. 22-15, 6:20 to play here in the second quarter. Out of the timeout of head coach Adam Quayle. Out front, Gavin Herlin trying to set up the offense. Got the hand underneath the basketball a couple times, and officials saw that and said, all right, that's a carry. Turnover, possession back to Vermillion.
That may be the first carry I've seen this season. Boys, girls, Vermillion, Centerville, Classics.
I believe there's been 2 called against in USD games on the women's side, so even this must not have been there. But in the high school side, I would agree with you. I think that's the first time I've seen that in quite some time. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Jensen spins and drives in. Her shot off the mark, no. Wallen with the offensive rebound, and now they're going to tie it up at the block. Vermillion fans, they're not going to like that one. Lennox fans, they don't like any of the other calls. So, again, for our 3 officials, it's a tough game. It's full, it's loud, and the fans are aggressive.
These are the games that breed an officials' brotherhood, if you will, because they're down there just trying to survive together as a band of brothers.
Peters, Bosma, she'll kick into the corner for Kranz. Now back up top. Peters, long 3, top of the key, no good. Going to miss short, and the ball falls into Brooke Jensen's lap. So another empty possession for the Lennox Orioles. 22-15, 5:25 to go here in the second. Casey Hansen pulls up from 14. Too strong, no good off the rim. Rebound controlled by Carly Bosma. A couple of quick shots both sides. Quickly up ahead, Ryan Hansen. Her shot well too strong, no good. And the rebound to Taylor Roovers. 5:08 to play in the second. Coast-to-coast lay-in. How in the world did that shot go in? How in the world? It hit short. It almost wedged in the rim, and it somehow glanced off the glass off the this side of the rim as we see it and rolled over.
Well, it's her second and 1 of the game, and what I've been really impressed with Roovers this game, and all season long really, but especially this game because she's being challenged so differently down low, she is really strong with the ball. When she attacks the rim, it's very difficult to block 5'5" Taylor Roovers because when she's got her 2 hands on that thing, she fires it at the hoop, she stays strong with it.
10-point lead now for the Tanagers, 25-15. Quickly, Taylor Roovers with 11 points, double figures, and leads all scoring. It was the second foul on Gavin Herlin. 4:45 to go in the quarter. Hansen, she'll spin left, again wants to go that way. Lay in, no. Rebound is loose. Shot goes in. It's being waved off, and a jump ball going to be called before the shot. Half the crowd applauding very loudly. The other half of the crowd not applauding, also very loudly. But officially it's a turnover and possession back to Vermillion.
Well, I mean, the worst part about that is obviously that was an unbelievable shot, but the official blows the whistle before it happens. He's got to stay with the call.
30-second timeout called by head coach John Brooks. We'll take it with him back to the Birdcage in just a half a minute.
To keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to the Birdcage. 25-15 out of the 30-second timeout called by head coach John Brooks. A couple area scores. Elk Point and Jefferson leads Ponca, Nebraska, 22-15. 3 minutes left to go in the third there. And number 5, Hamlin leads Webster area, 29-8 at the end of the first quarter. We're 4.5 to go here in the second. 10-point lead. Offensive foul going to be called on Casey Hansen. It'll be her first personal and the first team foul. John Brooks just kind of puts his hands up, says with his eyes, "Are you kidding me?" and we will play on.
Yeah, I will say one thing Vermillion's done better this quarter is we haven't seen the quick, sloppier fouls.
Both teams.
If you will. Both of them, correct.
4:20 to play in the second. Tori Gertis, she'll drive, tries handing it off to Musser, and they're going to say Musser took one extra step down on that baseline. So possession back to Vermillion, and now we're going to get, it's buzzed. They're at the scorer's table. Referee's talking about it. I'm not exactly sure what they are talking about, but they are going to discuss it now. So with 4:14 to go, still a 10-point game. I believe they were checking on a foul.
I think that's right.
See, on the board, they've got number 11 with 1, and neither 11 has had a foul.
Right, I think that.
So are they? I believe they're just changing it to a Casey Hansen foul.
Yes, I believe that it was the foul went up on Taylor Ruvers.
Okay, there we go. Yep, so we're just double checking that. Speaking of Taylor Ruvers, she's got it now. A carry going to be called on her.
Wow.
Didn't have full control over top of it, kind of went off to the side. Again, it kind of gets kind of deceptive a little bit as soon as that dribble starts getting high.
Right.
A lot of officials inclined to automatically call that a carry, but
right, we don't see it often. It's the right call though. I mean,
yeah.
she was absolutely losing her balance inside.
Shot up and no good. Bergen Musser partially blocked away by Madigan Wallen, much to the dismay of Lennox fans. Ruvers now has 5 rebounds in the ball game. Step back 3, Jensen rattled in and out, no. Offensive rebound, Casey Hansen. Put back is good. 5 points now for Casey Hansen off that offensive rebound. And it's a 12-point ball game, 27-15. Quickly the other way, lay-in is good. Count the bucket and the foul for Tori Gertis off the bench. Leads the Lennox Orioles in scoring with 6.
Yeah, she's done great tonight attacking the hoop. I mean, Lennox overall, they haven't gotten all their shots to fall, but they've done very well attacking the rim, drawing some fouls, and a couple and one opportunities as well.
Amara Thomas, Lexi Hansen are in. Maya Halverson and Madigan Wallen are out for the Tanagers. For the Orioles, it is Musser, Gertis who is shooting the free throw, and it is good. They are now 1 for 2 in the ball game. First point for Bergen Musser off the bench. 9-point game. Jensen up ahead. Lexi Hansen lay-in is good. Wide open was Lexi Hansen. She now has 5 points in the ball game. And it's back up to an 11-point game with 3:10 to play in the half.
She's done very well, and obviously just recently competing in a JV matchup. I mean, don't discredit the stamina as well of some of these girls who play both varsity and JV twice a week.
Peters lost it. Now we're going to get a loose ball foul going to be called on Casey Hansen. John Brooks does not like that one. And that is the second personal foul on Hansen. They have not fixed it quite yet on the board. Official still trying to get an explanation from John Brooks.
He's heated. I don't know if I've seen him this heated.
Yeah. It's been since last season was the time we've seen John Brooks this heated.
He's still into it.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that he has recovered from his illness. He was losing his voice.
Yeah, and another foul on Vermillion here. That he is very frustrated, not necessarily with the reffing right now, but as much as he is frustrated with his defense right now. There's too many shooting fouls going on.
First personal on Lexi Hansen. First free throw no good for Ryan Hansen. Comes in 56% free throw shooter again. She's so far 0 for 2 in the game.
Of course, when you talk about John and his frustration, you gotta think as well. Every foul that Vermillion's giving up, it's resulting because of some other defensive error. So he's not necessarily just freaking out over there about the fouls, but it's a collapse of the defense overall that's leading to these fouls.
10-point game, 2.5 to go. Jensen jab step 3 off the mark and no. Rebound fought for, and it will be controlled by Lexi Hansen. Now she's blocked. Foul going to be called. Looks like a clean block from up here, but 3 free throws on the way for Alexis Hansen.
Could have replayed it for you, Cole, but that's my bad, and apologies.
Again, it is set up now, so if it's not played, it's on him.
It is. It's entirely on me. I'm locked in. This is a fun game. I'm feeling like I'm as much of a viewer as I am on the job.
Say, I'm glad you're taking stats over there.
No, not even close.
Say that's.
Hey, look,
that stat sheet cost me 7 cents today. All right,
I'll reimburse. Look, there's no reason. You're so accurate, Cole. This is more of a compliment to you than it is anything else.
Calling me accurate with these stats, aside from points, is very generous of you to say, and you could not be further from the truth. Because once I start getting into it, I miss quite a bit, and I look down, I'm like, I just didn't record the last 3 plays. Lexi Hansen goes 1 for 3 from the line. Tanager's now 5 of 10. 11-point ball game, 30-19. Hansen spins right. She cannot get anything to fall right now. Roovers with her 6th rebound. Some might even say she could not hit the broadside of a barn. And she's been getting some quality shots, just cannot seem to get them fall here inside the birdcage.
Yeah, it's been a struggle here in the second quarter for Lennox as far as scoring goes in comparison to the Tanagers.
Just 7 points for the Orioles, 14 for the Tanagers with 143 seconds to play. Jensen, right wing 3, got it to go. First points for her in this quarter. And now she's up to 5 in the ball game. 33-19 is your score. 90 seconds to play in the half. Crayons tries to respond. Off the back of the rim, no. Rebound is still loose, and we're going to credit that an offensive rebound to Gavin Herlin. Kick up Gertis, now over Peters. Peters lob pass. Gavin Herlin's got it. Now a kick ball. We're going to say no kicking motion, so just off the bottom of the leg. Out of bounds, so Lennox will have it right in front of head coach Adam Quayle.
I'll tell you this, Cole, one thing I'm really impressed with on both of these teams here in the second quarter is the offensive rebounding. We've seen mostly Vermillion, but, I mean, Lennox here and there, too. They're cleaning the glass on the offensive end and getting second chance opportunities.
Crayons blocked away by Amara Thomas. Speaking of offensive rebounds, 6 for the Tanagers, 2 for the Orioles. So big advantage on that end for the Vermillion Tanagers. 14-point ball game, 45 to go in the half. Tanagers trying to take as much time off as they can. Casey Hansen straight away. That one's off the mark, no. Rebound is loose. Amara Thomas with it. Put back, no. Rebound still loose again, and Taylor Roovers comes up with it. Her 7th of the ball game, and just like that, the shot clock is off.
Yeah, I was going to say, Vermillion can even hold it for a last-second shot here. This is over a minute possession right now for the Tanagers as it is, and figured that foul was coming. That was definitely going to be a foul call on Andy Peters.
First personal on Peters, just some really close guarding there. Good hard defense for Peters, but she will come out now with her first personal foul, and Bergen Musser will come in.
I thought that there was actually fouls before it was even called, but
Roovers has not quite crossed half court again. They get a fresh 10-second. 14 to go. Roovers at the Tanager logo. Very close back there. She'll get a screen from Lexi Hansen. Screen from Amara Thomas. Kicks over Hansen. Left wing 3. Got it. Bank is open. Lexi Hansen, 9 points for her off the bench. And the buzzer will sound before the Orioles can get a shot off. That is how the first half will end, 36-19. The Tanagers outscore the Orioles 20-7 in quarter number 2. 36-19, your halftime score. We're going to step aside. When we come back, it is halftime stats and analysis and scores from around the state of South Dakota. That is on the way next. You're watching Tanager basketball on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Timeouts are more than just a break. They're an opportunity. At Blue Tin Design and Marketing, we help small town businesses shine, just like your team on game day. From creative branding to digital marketing, we're here to support your community. Let's build something great together. Visit bluetindesign.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregates, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
CoreCares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. CoreCares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dogs. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to the Birdcage. 36-19 your halftime score. The Tanagers lead the Orioles. So far, the USD women's basketball team 1 for 2 from their
Welcome
three-pointers.
back
Make
to the
that 2 for
Vermillion
3.
Booster Club Press Box.
There's a couple of
Proud
those members here inside the Birdcage. Let's get you your halftime stats from the girls' matchup. First for the Lennox Orioles again, 19 points for them in that first half. They were led in scoring by Tori Gertis, 6 points off the bench for her as well as a rebound. Ryan Hansen finished the half with 5. Libby Kranz with 4. Carly Bosma with 3, and Bergen Musser with 1. That rounds out the scoring. Gavin Herlin also tossed in 3 rebounds in there as well. They shot 2 for 4 from the free throw line. They scored 12 in the first, 7 in the second quarter for their total of 19 points. For the Vermillion Tanagers, they did not have a hard time scoring in that second quarter, and they scored 36 points total. Taylor Roovers, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals for her. Casey Hansen with 5. Brooke Jensen with 5, as I just accidentally skipped over Lexi Hansen, second leading scorer off the bench. She had 9 in that first half, 3 in the first, 6 in the second quarter. Maya Halverson with 2. Amara Thomas, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block for her in the ball game so far. They shot 5 of 10 from the free throw line. They scored 16 in the first, 20 in the second, for their total of 36 points. Again, 36-19, your halftime scores. I turn it over to my broadcast partner, Spencer Buley. Spencer, I feel like we say this a lot, but it was a tale of 2 quarters between the Tanagers and the Orioles. First quarter, close, fast. A couple of sloppy fouls as both teams were trying to get used to the rhythm of the ball game. Second quarter came around. It seemed like it was all Vermillion.
Yeah, Cole. I mean, it's all two quarters. If it is, there's no harm in saying it. But I mean, this game does feel like it's a lot closer than the scoreboard indicates. And I think that second quarter is the reason why this game is different on the scoreboard than on paper, because that first quarter was tight. It was close. It was a great game. The second quarter, Vermillion really ramped it up on defense. They started creating a lot of turnovers. Lennox couldn't hit their shots. Vermillion stayed out of foul trouble, so that kind of helped them. They got some good shots on the offensive end. But, I mean, Cole, I got to credit Vermillion. A lot of their bench players getting active, not necessarily bench players, but just even starters that aren't in the big three. They've been active cleaning the glass, getting rebounds, but also especially in the scoring. So overall, I mean, that second quarter was huge for Vermillion, and it's a big part of why they got a 36-19 lead right now.
And on Lennox's side of the ball, if you're head coach Adam Quayle, Vermillion switched up their defense a little bit in that second quarter, went more to that 1-3-1, but it also just seemed like they weren't getting very many offensive opportunities because they were just getting dominated on the offensive glass here on this side.
Yeah, that was one of the things I pointed out at the end. I mean, the Amara Thomas especially, and a lot of Lennox fans were calling for some over-the-back fouls or some reaching fouls, but I really thought that Amara Thomas was pretty straight up, and I thought that she was doing a great job at least getting her hands on the ball, tipping it to another one of her teammates. But, I mean, that's a huge part of the difference. I'd love to see a stat of how many of Vermillion's points came off of second chance opportunities, and they got to the line a lot with those two.
In your halftime score, 36-19. Let's take a look at some scores from around the state of South Dakota. Again, it is still pretty early in the day, just 7 o'clock, so not very many being reported, but as always, you can see them all on the bottom of your screen there. We start with the AA side of things, no scores. Class A, Mount Vernon Plankton leads Platte Geddes with 6 minutes to go in the first half, 10-3 defensive battle in that one. Hamlin leads Webster at the half, 47-19. Freeman leads Bonham at the half, 47-27. And Elk Point and Jefferson leads Ponca, Nebraska, with about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, 22-15 in that one as last reported. Receiving votes, Wagner out of Class A currently leads number 2, Parkston out of Class B, 21-18, 3 minutes left to go in that second quarter there as both teams start making their way out of the locker room. We're going to step aside one final time. When we come back, second half action from inside the birdcage on the way next on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
The best way to get through winter is to start planning for spring. And Grossenberg has new Honda walk-behind self-propelled mowers in stock. 3 models to choose from, residential up to commercial grade, starting at $900. Each mower features a powerful, reliable Honda GVC 200 engine, cruise control, and roto-stop technology that allows you to step away from the mower without stopping the engine. Get ready for spring with a new Honda mower from Grossenberg. Stop by one of our 9 locations today or go to grossenberg.com for more details.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to the Birdcage, 36-19 to start the second half. Lennox will start the ball with their home black uniforms, letters and numbers in white, orange trim. Vermillion in their home whites going left to right, letters and numbers in red with black trim. Peters out of the set play. Hands off Kranz, skip past Hansen. Hansen drives middle, then left, kicks out Herlin. She'll drive baseline, lay in off the glass, short, no good for her. Third rebound for Casey Hansen. So similar to what we saw in that second quarter. Not very many points so far for Lennox. Couple of big open-ended drives in that second. and another one to follow in the third. Shot up and no good by the Vermillion Tanagers, and we get a rebounding foul going to be called on Madigan Wallen. Third personal foul for her, and the first team foul. And not how Vermillion wants to start the half either. It's in Wallen now with 3, Halverson 2, Casey Hansen with 2 as well. Peters makes a move, now drives right, kicks over Hansen. She'll drive middle all the way across the basket. Her shot's no good, and she falls. Rebound to Brooke Jensen, her fourth. A minute gone. We've seen no points in the third. Roovers drives, pushed from behind, laying off the mark, no good. But a shooting foul going to be called on Gavin Herlin, her third personal. And Taylor Roovers will shoot 2 free throws.
And not necessarily a bad start offensively for Lennox. I mean, no points to show for it, but a couple of good looks. And Cole, to kind of build off what you were saying about that second quarter, that's what we saw, is we saw some pretty solid looks from Lennox, but they just couldn't get anything to fall. And I got to think that as far as percentages go, at some point those shots will start to fall.
First free throw by Roovers is good. Now 12 points for her in the ball game. Tanagers are 6 of 11 from the free throw line. Second one also good. Make that 7 of 12. Game high 13 points for Taylor Roovers to go along with her 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Quickly the other way, Gavin Herlin doinks one off the bottom of the backboard and no good, but a shooting foul going to be called on Madigan Wallen. Fourth personal, second team foul, so Wallen will have to check out. First free throw up and in for Gavin Herlin. First points of the ball game for her. Comes in averaging just 3 a game. Has not missed a free throw thus far in the season. As Lexi Hansen checks in, Madigan Wallen checks out, and Casey Hansen with a lane violation, so Herlin's perfect free throw streak will be able to be extended, and missed that second one, but lane violation.
You might survive the announcer's jinx, Cole.
Nope. No, I do not. As a second one also off the mark, and the rebound controlled by Brooke Jensen. Can't blame me. I was just reading the stats as I have them here inside in my iPad in front of me. Lexi Hansen in the right corner, guarded by Peters, lost it out of bounds. So they're going to say it stays with Vermillion. Both referees kind of looked around again. It is the right call. The underneath referee, he's supposed to be looking underneath the block area. So call out the primary, got the call there. 38-20, 6:35 to go in the third quarter. Jensen has it top of the key. Stunts, then kicks out to Casey Hansen. She'll cross over between the legs, kick over to Roovers. Roovers to Jensen. She'll drive middle off the pump fake. Floater, got it. 7 points now for Brooke Jensen. 20 points in the ball game, and the Tanagers have doubled up the Orioles, and the 3 balls off the mark for Gavin Herlin. Fight for the rebound. Roovers saved it.
I don't think we would have been able to see the
Spencer, you're killing me.
The
here.
angle there.
Spencer, you're killing me here. Well, the camera's got a better angle than I do. I see about 15 heads in the way right now. 20-point ball game. Jensen will airmail that one, and it goes out of bounds. John Brooks saying, why that fast of a shot? There was 30 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, sometimes, you see those shots taken with the threes with somebody. And Brooke Jensen, I'm sure, probably, may have a green light for some of those shots, but especially when you talk about the long-range two-pointer, it's one of the lower percentage shots in basketball. So if you're not going to, at that point, you might say, might as well go for a 3 there.
Libby Kranz drives in. Her right-handed lay-in is good. First points for the Lennox, second and third points of the second half for the Lennox Orioles. Back down to an 18-point lead for the Tanagers, 40-22. Roovers, right wing 3, going to be off the mark and no good. And the rebound will be controlled by Carly Bosma. She'll kick up ahead. Musser, lay in, wide open. That was Tori Gertis, number 33. 8 points for her in the ball game. 16-point deficit, 40-24. Hansen, Roovers, thought about the 3, now she'll drive middle. Kick over. Halverson, 6-footer off the mark, too strong. Libby Kranz with her second rebound. Quickly they want to push. Bergen Musser. That time it was Musser, and that time Musser got it to go.
Yeah, and this is kind of when having 12 or fouls on Madigan Wallen kind of comes in important because you're missing a starter out there. I mean, you're missing one of your key components, and now it's come to bite Vermillion a couple times on the defensive end. And that last one, you could see they were all out of sorts, and then now here committing a foul underneath. But it's the fouls that come in late that start to let Lennox back into this game, whether it be starters getting into foul trouble or just sending Orioles to the line.
The left-handed Bergen Musser gets her 4th point off the bench. It was a 22-point ball game. It was a 20-point ball game. It's now a 13-point ball game, 40-27. Thomas spins baseline. She can't get her shot to fall. Rebound is tipped out of bounds. But one student section points this way, one student section points this way.
It's always fun to see two sizable student sections go back and forth.
With 4:51 to go in the third. Casey Hansen to throw it in, looking for Jensen. She'll lob it up to the safety valve, Taylor Roovers. Back at the volleyball 10-foot line. Now over to Jensen on the left wing. Jabs right, goes left, kicks out, Hansen corner 3. In and out, no good. Rebound is controlled by Libby Kranz, now her 3rd. Again, Orioles, they want to start pushing the pace. Herlin lobs it inside Gertis, kicks out, 3-ball. Good, Libby Kranz. 9 points for Libby Kranz. It is a 10-0 run for the Lennox Orioles.
Yeah, part of it's coming from good defensive rebounding as well. They're limiting and completely taking away, frankly, any second-chance opportunities for Vermillion, and they're turning it into points on the offensive end.
John Brooks will call a timeout. It'll be his 2nd timeout of the game. 60 seconds in length. We'll take it with him. Back to the birdcage in a minute.
Problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no-obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
.4:14 to play in the third quarter of the John Brooks timeout. Again, Lennox still on that 10-0 run. Tanager's looking to put some points on the board. Roovers to Hansen, top of the key. Lennox has now switched their defensive strategy to a very aggressive 2-3 zone, and I mean very. And that aggression's it's gonna hurt him a little bit. Gavin Herlin with the over pursue, and Taylor Roovers with a good play there to drive in. That's now the 4th personal foul on Gavin Herlin. And Adam Quayle will get a sub in there. Andy Peters will come in. Gavin Herlin will check off.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising to see such an aggressive defense coming out. I mean, you're on a 10-0 run. You've been limiting Vermillion in their offense, so I'm a little bit surprised to see the change. But, I think it's a change mainly to prevent the three-pointer, just because I think they know that that's what got Vermillion on top of them prior, and that's how Vermillion builds momentum and runs.
Jensen forces up a quick one out of the fresh shot clock, so still a 10-0 run for the Orioles. They've got it now going right to left. Tori Gertis to Carly Bosma, 15 on the shot clock. High 1-3-1 zone for the Tanagers. Bosma stolen away by Casey Hansen. Tries allowing a pass over there, and Hansen gets her 3rd steal of the game. So again, Tanagers still on that scoreless drought, trying to get some points on the board. Hansen drives middle, kicks out Roovers left side, 20 on the shot clock. Jensen, she'll fire up the right wing 3, off the back of the iron and no good. Rebound still loose, and now we're going to get a rebounding foul going to be called on Amara Thomas. John Brooks is trying to say that she was getting held back, but I think I agree with that foul call there.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting on it as well. I think it's the right call. I think Thomas just a little bit too physical on that play because she kind of lost the ball at first, and she didn't maybe had a chance to get a rebound there, but lost it for a second, and then once she realized there's the ball, it kind of jump-started her and got a little bit too aggressive.
2:53 to go in the third quarter. Again, Lennox, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but still on that 10-0 run. Musser inside. Shot off the mark for Gertis. Ninth rebound for Roovers. Pull up for Jensen. Got it. Ends the scoreless drought for the Tanagers. 9 points for her, back up to a 12-point game. But again, Lennox wants to push the pace, not let Vermillion get into their zone, but they do. Skip pass. Andy Peters for three. Got it. Andy Peters. Big shot for her. First 3 points of the ball game for her. 13-2 run for the Lennox Orioles. Casey Hansen. Jensen left side, now double teamed. Kicks over Lexi Hansen, looking in for Amara Thomas. She will get it in. Thomas spins off the glass and good for two for Amara Thomas. Best performance of the season for her so far. 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block for her. Back up to an 11-point game. 1:50 to go.
It's a crucial game for her to step up, too, as there's a completely unforced turnover at the top of the key for Lennox. But, I mean, Amara Thomas having a big night, and Vermillion needs it because you take away her points tonight. If she, maybe has a below-average game, then Vermillion's in some trouble here. But she has played really well tonight and picked up some big points for the Tanagers when they need it.
144 seconds to play in the third quarter. Taylor Roovers will dribble it across for the Tanagers out of the Orioles turnover. Jensen drives left, lay in, no good. Offensive rebound put back for Thomas, no good. Second chance, that one's no good. And the rebound will be controlled by the Lennox Orioles. Now it goes out of bounds in front of the Tanager student section. So ultimately, out of all that, not sure what I'm going to put down there. I know it was for sure 2 offensive rebounds for Thomas. Was a rebound for Hansen, and then she lost it. So the fresh shot clock and 1:27 to go in the third. It's still an 11-point game. Halverson recently checked in. Roovers, she'll step back, 19-footer, no. Rebound is loose. Lennox fans not impressed with any of the non-calls here, but not going to get it changed.
Well, Vermillion wanted a foul there against Amara Thomas because they thought John Brooks and the whole bench thought for sure that she was getting held too.
Tori Gertis looks inside Hansen, kicks out Andy Peters, left wing three, got it to go. Andy Peters, 6 points for her, all in this third quarter. And it's now an 8-point ball game, 44-36, 48 seconds to go. Brooke Jensen will dribble across slowly. Had it lost for a moment, then picked it back up. Over to Roovers at the 10-foot volleyball line. Roovers backs it back out. Halverson, top of the key. Over to Jensen, right side, right wing three, short, no good. Rebound will be controlled by Tori Gertis. Gertis pressured by Roovers, now will hand it off to Carly Bosma. Shot clock is off for the Lennox Orioles. And Orioles still on a 16-4 run that started early in this third quarter when they went down 20. Ball is loose. They're going to say out of bounds, last touched by Casey Hansen. So with 12.4 to go, Lennox will throw it in. Peters will bring it across. Bounce pass, Bosma. Bosma back to Peters. Left wing, long three. In and out, no good. Amara Thomas with the rebound. Now she's got it. She'll chuck up the half quarter. Off the mark and no good. And that is how the third quarter will end. 44-36 in favor of the Tanagers. Going to be a big 8 minutes coming up. That's on the way next on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
8 more minutes to go of regulation. The Vermillion Tanagers, number 2 in the Class A media poll, number 9 in the Class A standings according to seed points. They lead the Lennox Orioles 44-36. A Lennox Orioles team comes in 6-4, number 16 in the Class A standings according to seed points, number 5 in the region. Turnaround jumper, Jensen. She can't get her shot to fall. Rebounds loose, body's hitting the floor. Out of bounds, they're going to say last touched by the Vermillion Tanagers. So a quick turnover and out of bounds. Early possession here for the Orioles. Chance to try to cut this lead back down. Again, at one point they were down in that third quarter, 40-20. Bosma tries going inside, pass tipped around, second steal for Wallen. Roovers, she'll pull up from 25, short, no good. Andy Peters with the rebound, her third for the Lennox Orioles. Hurry back and forth here in the fourth, no points on the board yet. Hansen to Kranz, top of the key. Bosma, Gertis, Hansen. 5-out set for the Orioles. Hansen to Peters, Bosma back at the logo. 12 seconds to go. Bosma, hands off Hansen. Hansen versus Jensen, poked away. Back out, Bosma, floater, got it. Good shot there by Carly Bosma. Now 5 points for her in the ball game. Back down to a 6-point game. 44-38 again. This is now a 18-4 run since halfway about through the third quarter. Tanagers struggling to score, and I think I'm saying that lightly. Roovers drives baseline, step through, laying off the glass, and good for 2. 15 points for the Mighty Mouse, and it's back up to an 8-point game, 46-38.
I've been waiting for that, Cole. I this whole third quarter, all I thought was there was way too many threes from Vermillion. There was no real work of an offensive system. When they were succeeding early on, it was from drives like that from Taylor Roovers where they attacked the hoop and either picked up an and one or drew foul and went and shot 2 free throws. Great attack from Taylor Roovers, and I want to see more of that from the Tanagers.
Jensen pulls up from 8 feet. That one's off the mark, no good. Jensen has gone ice cold here in the third and fourth quarter. Rebound to the Orioles. They're going to take a timeout. Ed and Quayle will take a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with them. Back to the Vermillion High School Birdcage in 30 seconds.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the
Welcome
farm
back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back, Vermillion Tanagers live ticket TV, 46-38 your score. Again, my producer Spencer Buley a bit distracted as a viewer text message came in. He was over here laughing about that one a little bit, but don't worry, Spencer Buley is back. In case you're wondering who he is, that's Spencer Buley. I'm Cole Larsch. We've got you covered for, again, this entire doubleheader. This is just game number 1. Game number 2 might be even better than this one, and now an offensive foul going to be called quickly on the Lennox Orioles. That is going to be the first personal foul on Bergen Musser. The first team foul that we've seen here in quarter number 4, and now Lennox will drop into some full court man pressure. Try to pressure the ball a little bit. Roovers, pass ahead, Jensen. Skip pass, Hansen left side, back to Roovers, top of the key. They'll try to set up a little bit of offense. 5-out look for the Tanagers. Straight up man defense for the Orioles. Interesting to see that they switched defenses. You know, Lennox went into that really high 2-3 zone, and they seem to be getting some stops. See if this man defense will do anything else. Jensen fakes right, spins left, lay in no. Offensive rebound, Wallen, put back. That one's off the mark, but a foul call, and Madigan Wallen will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair of free throws.
Yeah, good to have Wallen back in this game. She's effective on the board. She's effective on defense. It's a good player to have back for Vermillion. Obviously got into some foul trouble there in that third quarter. I believe she has 4 right now.
You'd be correct. First free throw is good for her. First point of the ball game. 1.2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Second one also good. Tanagers now 9 of 14 from the free throw line. Yet to miss here in this second quarter, and they're back up to a 10-point lead, 48-38. Again, at one point in this game was 40-20 in favor of the Tanagers. Shot up and no good by Ryan Hansen, but Jensen got the foul. She admitted it right away. And she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. John Brooks looks over at his assistant coaches, Doug Hansen, Carrie Jensen, Kelly Knutson, and says, well, I don't think I can repeat what I lip read now. I probably didn't lip read correctly.
He's got a towel over there. You know, I think that's his stress towel.
Yeah,
and he's been holding that close to his face. He's gripping it. He's using it as a variety of tools here.
Gavin Herlin, just 1 point, that was Ryan Hansen, just 5 points for her in the ball game. She is 1 of 6 from the free throw line here in this game. And now we're going to get a loose ball foul as Wallen kind of over-pursued it, but they're going to say that Kranz shoved her in the back. That's her 4th personal foul, and now quickly the 3rd team foul on the Orioles.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. I mean, Kranz just right on the lower back, gave Madigan Wallen no chance to really catch it, call it pass interference.
And I am taking football officiating this semester, Spencer Buley, and I believe according to the NFHS rule, that was textbook.
I'd agree.
Wallen gets the pass. Her shot no good, but a foul called. Andy Peters, 2nd personal foul, and the 4th team foul now on the Orioles.
Yeah, that was a great cut by Wallen. The pass just a touch late. I think if that pass is right on time when Wallen's cutting in, it's an easy 2 points, maybe even an and 1.
Second free throw in for Wallen. She's 4 for 4 now in the ball game. Tanagers 11 of 16 as a team, and they're back up 12, 50-38. Gertis tries getting inside Hansen, poked away by Casey Hansen, and falls into the lap of Maya Halverson. 4th steal for Casey Hansen.
And you go back to Madigan Wallen shooting 4 free throws, making all 4 of them. It's really impressive for her to be able to come cold off the bench, sitting nearly the entire 3rd quarter, and immediately get right back to an impact role.
Foul on Tori Gertis, 1st personal, 5th team foul. So now for the remainder of the 4:30 that is left in this 4th quarter, as well as any subsequent time put on the clock, we will be shooting bonus free throws, will the Vermillion Tanagers. Jensen, 1st free throw is good. She's now at double figures. 10 points, now 11 for her. 13 of 18 of the Tanagers from the free throw line. They now have a 14-point lead, 52-38. Hansen, left wing 3, off the mark and no. Defensive rebound controlled by Madigan Wallen, now her 3rd of the ball game. And like Spencer Buley said, sat quite a while with some foul trouble. Had 4 early in that 3rd quarter, and has now come back off the bench into her starting role in the 4th. Wallen's got it top of the key. She'll now drive middle. Through contact, lay-in is good. Madigan Wallen, 6 points all in this 4th quarter. 16-point game stolen away by Taylor Roovers. 3rd steal of the ball game for her. And Lennox, they're right back to their 2nd quarter self. Cannot get anything going on the offensive end.
Yeah, this is much more of a repeat of what the first half early on looked like for Vermillion. Back to attacking the hoop, back to drawing fouls, back to getting easy buckets. When they went kind of that 5 out and were only jacking up threes, that's when the success stopped, and now they've been able to turn that around. Timeout, John Brooks.
John Brooks will take his 3rd timeout of the ball game. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with him back to the birdcage in 30 seconds.
Family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to the Birdcage. 54-38, 3:27 to go in the game. 11 on the shot clock now for the Tanagers. Some area scores. You can also see them on the bottom of your screen. Freeman beats Bonham 75-54. Elk Point Jefferson will defeat Ponca, Nebraska 46-34. Hanson leads Parker 34-26. And Parkston leads Wagner 34-30. Back in action, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Now 3. Roovers, she'll drive, lay in, got it. Body's hitting the floor, no whistles. Roovers now with 17 points in the ball game. And Tanagers now back up 18. Again, this game was as low as 4. Drive in, Carly Bosma. She tried passing it away, could not get it away. But now a foul going to be called on Maya Halverson. 3rd personal. And the second, not sure what replay that just showed.
I don't either.
That was, not
what just happened.
Could not tell you what just happened there. 3 ball up, good. Good shot there by Gavin Herlin. 4 points now for her in the ball game. That was long and deep. 56-41 now the score. 2:40 to go in the ball game. Jensen. Over to Hanson, top of the key. Roovers right side. Has an ISO. Now Tanager will get balanced out a little bit more. Jensen's got it. 13 on the shot clock. Back to Roovers. Roovers guarded by the 8th grader, Bergen Musser. Roovers drives left. Lay in. Blocked away by Musser, but out of bounds, and possession will stay with the Tanagers. 4 on the shot clock for Vermillion.
Cole, I think right now this game's going to be closed out by offense for Vermillion, not necessarily defense.
Inside Jensen, laying high off the glass and no good. Rebound controlled by Tori Gertis, her 3rd. Quickly up ahead, Musser. Lay-in is good. Out of the pass of Gavin Herlin. And now a timeout called by head coach Adam Quayle. His 3rd timeout, so we will step aside for 60 seconds. 2:06 to play. 56-43, back in a minute on Vermillion Tanagers Live.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a checkmark, all in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to the Birdcage, 2:06 to play. Full court now, zone press applied by the Lennox Orioles. They got 4 on this side of half court, and the Tanagers able to break it with less than 2 minutes to play. John Brooks says, all right, let's slow things down. Jensen has the ball stripped away. Bergen Musser, lay-in, wide open is good. 8 points now for Bergen Musser off the bench. 11-point game, 56-45. Jensen, jump ball, possession arrow, points in favor of the Lennox Orioles. So now, a couple of quick possessions and a very unhappy John Brooks.
Yeah, this is, Cole, what I was kind of saying earlier about offense being the new defense here for Vermillion. This is kind of what I meant. You just have to protect the ball, and you have to put some points on the board. It doesn't matter how much Lennox scores. You can let them score all day as quickly as they want if you can put points on the board on the offensive possession. That's how you protect a lead in this instance. But right now, this is just mistakes.
Tori Gertis gets the lane. I don't know what. Yeah, you know what? Give up on that thing. I'll try to reset it between games. Tori Gertis with the lay-in. Now 10 points for her.
I think what John Brooks is the most frustrated about.
Is that 30 or 33? Okay, no, that
33.
is 30. Okay, yes, it is Tori Gertis.
Yes.
Double figures now for her. 4th personal foul on Maya Helverson. 9-point game, now still a 9-point game. Orioles 4 of 10 from the free throw line. Jensen with her 6th rebound. All right, I thought my eyes are messing with me again. It's been a day so far, and we've still got a second game to go. 1:13 to play in the 4th. Roovers has it top of the key over to Jensen. Jensen back to Roovers, guarded by Musser. Back at the Tanager logo. 1:03 to go, 11 on the shot clock. Ball is loose, foul is called. Going to go on Bergen Musser. Second personal. That is now the, I believe, 6th team foul, so we're shooting free throws either way. Roovers at the free throw line. First one's good. She's now 3 of 5 in the ball game.
I think what John Brooks is so fired up about is his team not responding to his level of energy and focus right now. They're not moving on offense. That's what he was saying there. He's yelling at them to move, get some motion going, telling players to wake up, get into it. Vermillion hasn't had to close a game out like this in weeks necessarily. I mean, most of the starters have been sitting in the 4th quarter, so I think right now this is more of a focus problem.
Tori Gertis, right wing 3 off the back iron and no. Roovers now officially with a double-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds for her in this ball game. 11-point lead, 40 seconds to go. Now a foul going to be called on Ryan Hansen, so Roovers will be going to the free throw line quite a bit. First personal on Hansen. Tanagers are now 15 of 20 from the free throw line here in the ball game. They went 5 of 10 in the first quarter. And as I was about to say, that they have not missed in the second half. There's our first miss of the second half. Now 10 of 11 here in half number 2.
Sometimes the jinx just feels its presence when it's about to happen.
I don't even think it was a jinx. You can't. That one wasn't on me. And now a carry going to be called in the backcourt on Tori Gertis. So a turnover. Possession back to Vermillion. Casey Hansen to throw it in, a stack formation for the Tanagers. It goes through the hands of Taylor Roovers, but she will save it from going out of bounds. About a second between the shot clock and the game clock. Not even right about a second separate the shot clock and the game clock.
I think John Brooks was going to explode if that ball went out of bounds. It was a turnover. The worst is that there was no movement, no expression, just immediate hands on head.
Jensen again. Tanagers just trying to dribble out the clock. Does not appear that Lennox will foul anymore. Just trying to force a turnover. Now Roovers will drive in, kick out to Hansen. Back to Roovers. I think they're just going to take the shot clock violation. She'll drive and kick out, and Halverson will take it, and the buzzer will sound, and that is how the ball game will end. The Vermillion Tanagers survive the comeback effort of the Lennox Orioles, and they get the win here in the first half of our doubleheader. 59-47, your final score. Again, 59-47 as I quickly turn it over to Spencer Buley as I tally up some stats. This is, in essence, exactly what we thought was going to happen here in this doubleheader. Both games going to be close, going to be fast and sloppy a little bit at the start. Things are going to settle in. Things we did not predict, though, Vermillion getting out to a 20-point lead, and then Lennox cutting that thing all the way back to 3.
Yeah, I think it goes back to my earlier point. Vermillion has not had to close out a basketball game against a good team in a while. They've been reaching a lot of running clocks. The starters have sat, and I think that's what was frustrating John Brooks so much, is that as a coach, when you know your team has such a high standard and they have such high expectations, and you know that they can physically execute and close out a game like that, but then you watch them nearly shoot themselves in the foot over and over again off of mental errors. That is the most frustrating thing as a coaching staff, and I think that's why John Brooks was so frustrated. You know, it's never a anger about the way his team is performing, but it's just a lack of focus that he was so frustrated about. But overall, I mean, it's a good win for Vermillion. Lennox is a really good team. I know that they now moved to a 6-5 record, but they've played a really hard schedule. All of their losses have been against really good teams. So for the Tanagers, this is a great win. It's a 12-point win. At one point, you were up by 20. You look at this and you say, okay, we got to focus on closing out games. We got to take care of the ball better. But this is more of a, almost kind of a knock the rust off game, Cole, for what's ahead and to come for the Tanagers.
Here's your final stats. First for the Lennox Orioles, 47 points in the ball game for them. They were led in scoring. 10 points for Tori Gertis off the bench, 9 for Libby Kranz, 8 for Bergen Musser off the bench, 6 for Andy Peters, 5 for Ryan Hansen and Carly Bosma, and 4 for Gavin Herlin. They shot 4 of 10 from the free throw line, 12 in the first, 7 in the second, 17 in the third, and 11 in the fourth for their total of 47. Like Spencer Buley said, they will drop to 6-5 on their very tough schedule. For the Vermillion Tanagers, 59 points. Taylor Ruvers led the way with a double-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Brooke Jensen, 10 points, 6 rebounds for her. Alexis Hansen off the bench, 9 in that first half. Casey Hansen with 5. Maya Halverson with 2. Madigan Wallen with 6 all in that fourth quarter. And Amara Thomas with 6 in the ball game. They shot 16 of 22 from the free throw line. 59-47. They score 16 in the first, 20 in the second, 8 in the third, 15 in the fourth. They will go to 9-1 on their season. We're going to step aside over to Heath Nimke. He interviewed both of our boys coaches here tonight. Jacob Henker followed by Jay Drake. That is on the way next on our boys pregame show, Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
From one big game to the next, it's time to get you set for the boys pregame show between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Lennox Orioles as the girls game just got done wrapping up. We only have a little bit of time, so let's hop right into our coaches' interviews. As first up, it's Jacob Hinker of the Lennox Orioles, now in his first year as head coach for the Lennox Orioles, but he has been around this program. In fact, he graduated from Lennox in 2016 as a high school player and then has come back, has again been with this team now for their 4th straight year as an assistant coach previously, but now as head coach of the Lennox Orioles. We caught up with him yesterday to talk about the success of his team and what makes this team so successful, plus what he expects to see from the Vermillion Tanagers. Here he is on our pregame show. It's head coach of the Lennox Orioles, Jacob Hinker. Coach, you get ready to take on the Vermillion Tanagers, a big matchup, not only when it comes to the DAC-12, but this region. We'll talk first more about Vermillion coming up in a little bit, but I want to go back to what we saw Tuesday and even earlier this season. Your 2 losses so far this season have been against the number 1 team, Sioux Falls Christian in the state of Iowa, and the number 1 team in 2A of Western Christian in the state of Iowa. It's been impressive, though, as a first-year head coach, what you have been able to do with your group. How have you been able to get the guys to buy into kind of your new system that you want to bring along, but keep them things kind of the same as it's been in years past of winning games day in and day out?
I think the big thing that it just boils down to with the guys that I have is my first year coaching and teaching. I was a junior high football coach. So this year's juniors and seniors were the first group that I coached in junior high football. So it kind of sometimes correlates to just having some trust, having some familiarity with me as a coach. I did summer workouts with a lot of these kids too. So really just the buy-in then comes from relationships that aren't even just built throughout the season, but built like 3 or 4 years ago, built through last season as an assistant coach. And obviously there's some different relationships then when it comes from head coach to player instead of assistant coach to player. But the buy-in again just really starts from previous years, not even just now. It's a never-ending cycle, and to get them to buy in just is their ability to trust me and their ability to buy in and want to win.
Well, we talk about your group. It's been, like we said, phenomenal to see what you've been able to put together as first-year head coach and just continue to build on what this historic program has done for Lennox Orioles basketball because, it's, as you mentioned, even as assistant coach, you guys are always winning games. Maybe you haven't been able to quite get to the Sodak 16 or the state tournament because there always seems to be your kryptonite, the Vermillion Tanagers, and they did it again last year of eliminating you from the region, but now we get to regular season basketball. Taking a look at Vermillion, 7-1 on the season. On paper, that's a pretty good record, but sometimes the competition hasn't always been the toughest for Vermillion. What have you seen, though, as scouting them, what makes them a very scary team coming into this matchup?
I think, you go into these games and Jay Drake has a very good system, and he does things the correct way. So year in and year out, it's not like he's coming in with the crazy game plan that's different or that's going to kind of surprise you or anything like that. He just does what he does at a very high level with the group that he has. And I think that's what makes them tough year in and year out, because if they're playing 2 sophomores, 2 juniors the previous year, and then they roll over and are playing the next year, well, then they're just already that much better and that much ready when it comes around. So really, what I see from them is just a program and a system that does things the right way and that just builds and gets better and better and better at the little things that they do correctly.
When looking at your group, something you talk about what Vermillion is able to do on the smaller side, it seems like you have that same group of guys. And I don't know what it is, the water in Lennox, if you will, but you guys always seem to just have these great athletes, whether they're athletic or their size just plays a huge factor. And a lot of guys back from the past couple of seasons, yes, some big ones, big names graduated as well, but you have Tate Gertis is now a junior. You continue to see Boston Katzer play well, and the list of names goes on and on for your group. Who's the big players that Vermillion will need to focus in on from your perspective to shut down to have a chance of winning?
I mean, you named 2 of them right there. They can be a 2-headed monster when it comes to guard play and ability to get to the basket and ability to try and take over games. But it's kind of crazy. For our first, 6 games, we had 5 different leading scorers in those type of games. So, we've had Aiden Hansen has came in as a sophomore and had some big scoring games. We've had Tegan Musser has came in and had some big games for us. Leighton Smith has came in and had a big game against Pine Ridge and hit a game winner against them. And then Talon Ike and Cole Spieler off the bench coming and do what they're supposed to do. And then obviously a big one is Drake Mickelson. He's just a freak athletically and just causes matchup problems for almost any team that they have. So, we do have the 2 that you just named, Gertis and Katzer, and they're fantastic, and they do really good things. But then we have so many kids that just complement what those 2 do and make their jobs a lot easier.
Once again, that is first-year head coach Jacob Hinker here on our pregame show, talking about his group and what makes them so exciting for the Orioles. Again, the team that comes in ranked number 5 according to the media in Class A is also 6-2 with their only 2 losses against the number 1 team here in Class A, Sioux Falls Christian, and also the number 1 team in Class 2A over in the state of Iowa, Western Christian, who they lost to on Tuesday evening. We continue on the Boys Pregame Show. It's now time to catch up with head coach Jay Drake and more about this matchup and how he gets ready for the Lennox Orioles. Boston Katzer was a phenom a couple of years ago for MCM when he was there before he transferred over. He has grown into more of a role at Lennox, and then the list goes on. Tate Gertis is now a junior. You have Tegan Musser, who continues to shoot the ball well. This is just a Lennox Orioles team that has a plethora of guys that can go off on any night, and it's kind of hard to key in on one specific guy. So, Jay, what's the game plan against the Orioles?
Going to have to play well. We know that. Obviously, on both ends of the floor, huge rivalry. And we've had some really good games over the years. we've been fortunate, in the last couple of years, and really I think it's been 4 out of the last 5 years where we've been able to knock them out of the postseason in the regions. And I think they that's something they're going to be on their mind. And yet, obviously, new season here and such a huge game. You try to make all games the same throughout the regular season, but when you get into these head-to-head matchups, and when we're in a situation where we're both battling for region seeding, this is a huge swing game when you come back at the end of the year, because one team's going to obviously earn few extra power points on the other team on a head-to-head matchup. So it should be a great crowd. Obviously, a girl-boy doubleheader with them. Great high school environment, and these are the type of games you want to play in, and it's why you play high school sports. But you're right. They opened the year against Sioux Falls Christian and really had them on the ropes. I think they were up 6 or 7 with about 3 minutes to go. Still had a chance in that final minute, and we all know how good Sioux Falls Christian is. And then they're coming off a loss here to Western Christian, who's got a great program, a very good basketball team. So they just keep coming at you. Athletes all over the place, guys that can score the basketball. They have shooters on the perimeter, some size and athleticism inside. They'll defend you. Coach Hinker's been on their staff, obviously a Lennox kid. That we saw 10 years ago, because I think he's a 2015 grad and has been an assistant and now taken over the program and does a good job. And they're going to be well coached and they're going to be well prepared. And we know, like anything, and it should be this way in games like this, that we'll have to play very well. And if we play very well, we'll have a chance to win late. And if we're not playing up to our standards or where we need to be playing at in a game like this, we could be in for a long night.
When you talk about the standards that you want to play at, we have seen in these matchups before, you go back to like the postseason games against Lennox, you're about limiting possessions, making sure kind of every possession has some type of points for Vermillion, or if you're not getting points, then when it comes to the next possession for Lennox, they also can't get points. So you're one of those guys that's like, we just have to keep it within 5, and we can give that little dagger at the end. We can pull away, we can make a move to get the victory. Is that the plan coming up against the Lennox Orioles, or do we see a different type of a Madison offense, if you will? It's a barrage of shooting for your group, and you're going to try to just outscore Lennox. So what's the game plan for head coach Jay Drake?
Well, I hope we shoot it well. It helps and it makes things better. But, yeah, you just don't know. That's been the one thing we've seen since we've come to even back from the Christmas break here. And we've kind of said that with our team. Obviously, we know we're going to have to play hard and defend the heck out of teams every night and rebound the basketball, take care of the basketball, which is still something even in the Madison game we didn't do real well. We had too many costly turnovers, dumb turnovers, that we got to value the basketball more. But, we feel we can score at times. And we've gone on stretches where we've shot it very well. You just can't guarantee that every night. So I think they're a team that still likes to get up and down. I think we like to get up and down. But when you have two teams that know each other well and you know each other's personnel and what they want to do, I think sometimes that kind of just turns the game into almost a grinded out half-court kind of slugfest per se. So nothing would shock me. It's one of those, whatever happens in the basketball game, we've got to be able to adjust. We've said just over our 5 games here since the break, good teams find ways to win games different ways, whether it's in the full court, half court, whatever it is. And those things can change just within the game even. So we've got to be ready to play no matter what. And the big thing, I think, is I know our guys are excited for the opportunity. And, we know that Lennox is going to be excited to come in and compete against us as well, and kind of make probably a little revenge from last year, and we've got to match their intensity from the get-go.
Once again, that is head coach Jay Drake here on our pregame show talking about the Lennox Orioles. By the way, no, his voice wasn't tired. He is feeling a little under the weather as the flu continues to go around Vermillion High School at this time, and it happens to every high school dealing with the flu and all the sickness that happens year in and year out. But nonetheless, Jay Drake and his group is certainly ready to go for tonight. Let's send it back over to Spencer Buley and Cole Larsch, who have the game coverage between the Lennox Orioles and the Vermillion Tanagers, two teams that come in with an overall record of 13-3. Gentlemen, take it away.
Welcome back to the
Welcome back inside the Birdcage. It is the second half of our DAC 12 and Region 4A doubleheader between the visiting Orioles and the hometown Tanagers. Again, that was Heath Nimke with both head coach Jacob Hinker and head coach Jay Drake. Crowd on the Vermillion side has lessened a bit. On the Lennox side seems to have grown even more compared to the first game. And thanks for tuning in. I'm Cole Larsch. He's Spencer Buley. Let's get you our starting lineups. First for the visiting team in their road blacks, the Lennox Orioles. A 6'4 senior guard, number 1, Leighton Smith, comes in 8 points a ball game. A 6'3 senior guard, number 4, Boston Katzer, 7.5 points. A couple assists in there as well for him a ball game. A 5'10 sophomore guard, number 13, Aiden Hansen. Double figures for him, 10 points a ball game. A 6'3 junior guard, number 24, Tate Gertis, 15.5 points per ball game. He is their leading scorer. And a 6'5 junior forward, number 25, Tegan Musser, 8.5 points per ball game. Trey Mantis and Kyle Johnston are the assistant coaches. The head coach in his first year is Jacob Hinker, 6-2 on the season, number 5 according to the media in South Dakota, number 12 in Class A according to the seed points, and they sit number 4 in Region 4A. One thing about them, Spencer Buley, head coach Jacob Hinker said in their pregame show, out of their first 6 games, each game had a different leading scorer. Very balanced Lennox Orioles squad. For the Vermillion Tanagers, it's the same starting lineup we've seen all season. 6' senior guard number 12, Landon Cerny, 7.5 points, 5 rebounds a ball game. 6'3 senior guard and a captain number 24, Carter Hansen, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists a ball game for him. 6'5 sophomore forward number 30, Luke Jensen, 15 points a game. 6'1 junior guard number 32, Gabe Larson, 5.5 points, 2.5 rebounds a ball game. 16 points a game for the junior guard, Trey Hansen stands at 6'4". John Ruvers, Lewis Budmeyer, Connor Rohrig, the assistant coaches. The head coach is Jay Drake. Tegan Musser and Carter Hansen in the center circle at the Tanager logo. The ball is up and the tap is won by the away Lennox Orioles. Again, they are in their home black uniforms, letters and numbers in orange, white trim. Tanagers in their home whites. Right wing 3 quickly got it to go. Aiden Hansen, first 3 points the ball game for him, and a quick start for the Orioles. Tanagers in their home whites. Carter Hansen high off the glass. He can't get that one to fall. Ball is loose. Controlled by Leighton Smith. Again, 6'4", 6'3", 5'10", 6'3", 6'5". Very tall Lennox Orioles squad. They kick over in the corner with Hansen. Hansen makes a move now out to Smith. Smith, Katzer. Katzer tries working it. Now Smith right side, 18 on the shot clock for him. Hansen, he'll drive free throw line, steps back, 17-footer, got it to go. 2 for 2, Aiden Hansen, 5 points, and the Orioles lead 5-0.
This is a start they wanted. I mean, we talked about in the pregame before the girls' game how much Lennox wants to come in here and win this game in the Birdcage. Just a little bit of history between these two teams, and it's a perfect start for them right now, 5-0.
Hansen to Hansen, Trey that is. He'll drive on Katzer, kicks out to Carter. 13 on the shot clock. He'll step through, lay in, no. Whistle and a foul going to be called, so Carter Hansen will go to the free throw line. Tegan Musser, first personal foul. And the first team foul. Carter Hansen at the free throw line, 65% free throw shooter on the season. He is 0 for 1 to start. Second free throw is up, and that one's good. First points of the ball game for the Tanagers come from Carter Hansen. It is 5-1. 6.5 to go in the first quarter. Smith has it over to Musser. Musser back out Hansen. Hansen trying to look inside to Musser. Now back out Smith. Katzer left side, skip pass in the corner. Hansen looking around. Now again, 3 Hansens in this ball game as well. 8 on the shot clock for the Orioles. Katzer has it. Katzer works. Gertis, step back, long 3. Going to hit off the front of the rim and no. Rebound tapped around, controlled by Trey Hansen. Thought about pulling up the 3, won't take it. Kept his back foot on the floor, no travel called. Luke Jensen with the hot hand on Tuesday. He'll spin middle, spin through contact, shot up and no. Rebound high pointed by Tate Gertis. Now he wants to push. Lob it up ahead, Musser. 1 dribble, lay in, good. 2 points for Tegan Musser. 7-1 the score. 5.5 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Cole, I feel like I'm waiting for our patented Jay Drake timeout, especially 7-1 right now. Lennox, all the offense for them.
Carter Hansen drives right, left-handed lay-in as he was just about fully underneath the hoop. Got the shot to fall. Second personal foul on Tegan Musser, so he will sit. And Drake Mickelson, number 20, the 6'5 sophomore center, averaging 5.5 points off the bench. He will check in. First free throw, or only free throw, is good. All 4 points now for the Tanagers come out of the hands of Carter Hansen. It is 7-4, 5:18 to play in the first quarter. Katzer left side, up top Mickelson. Kicks over Hansen. He'll drive right. Underhand lay-in, no good. Rebound to Landon Cerny. Tanagers, they want to push. Kick over. Larson for 3. Got it. Gabe Larson out of the assist to Trey Hansen, and we're all tied up 7-7. 3 minutes gone here in the first. Gertis had it poked away from behind. Katzer's got it, kicks out Hansen. Hansen with a nifty move over to Smith, left side. Smith jabs right, drives left, spins, floater, no good for Leighton Smith. And the rebound to Luke Jensen. Quick pass up ahead. Larson, too hot for him to handle. It was about a 60-foot pass, lost it in the lights. Turnover, Aiden Hansen with the steal. Kicks into the bench. They're going to say ball last tapped. I believe that is Trey Hansen over there on that right side. Leighton Smith also was in there, and now he will throw it in.
Thing fired into the stands. Glad everybody's okay over there.
Orioles to throw it in. Gertis has it at the volleyball 10-foot line. Katzer. Skip past Hansen in the corner. Now to Smith, left side, 20 on the shot clock. Lob inside to Katzer. Now he's got it back. Mickelson. Kicks over Smith. No, that's Hansen right side. Pump fake and spin. Gertis, left wing 3, no good. Rare miss from him. You'll see him knock quite a few of those down this game. Gabe Larson with the rebound. Trey Hansen to bring it across the floor. Jabs right, drives left. Underhand lay-in is good for Trey Hansen. Tanagers with their first lead of the ball game. It is 9-7 halfway through the first quarter. Aiden Hansen kicks over to Katzer in the corner. Now to Smith, left wing. Gertis trying to look inside. Fires it over Aiden Hansen. Left corner 3. Got it. Good response by the Lennox Orioles. 7 points for him in the ball game. And just like that, it's a lead once again for the Orioles. It is 10-9.
Yeah, we're going to see a back-and-forth battle, especially with the three-pointers. I mean, you look at the Lennox offense, the way that they're making the Vermillion defense crash down on any of their drives to the hoop, they're going to see a lot of kick-out three-ball opportunities.
Carter Hansen in the corner. Right corner fadeaway Trey for Trey is off the mark and no good. Katzer with the rebound. He wants to push, lost it from behind, stolen by Trey Hansen. First steal for him in the ball game.
Trey Hansen, great at running that wolf behind whoever's carrying the ball up the floor.
Gabe Larson, left wing 3. He now has 6 points, and it's back up to a lead for the Tanagers. 12-9, 3 minutes to go in the first.
Well, Cole, we talk a lot about the hot hand rotating around this team. It was Luke Jensen in the last game, and now it's Gabe Larson, as once it was Landon Cerny. Before that, it was Carter Hansen, Trey Hansen, Luke Jensen at one point again, back with it the last game, and now Gabe Larson.
Good defense there by the Tanagers. They'll kick it up ahead, Luke Jensen. Back to Trey. Trey looks, and now he'll survey. He's got an ISO on Katzer. He crosses over. Good defense there by Katzer. Physical but clean. Jensen for 3. Off back iron, no. Rebound high pointed and controlled by Leighton Smith. Now he wants to kick it up ahead. Aiden Hansen. Over to Mickelson. Lay in, no. Rebound is loose. It's going to be controlled by the Lennox Orioles. Credit Leighton Smith with that offensive save. Fresh shot clock for the Orioles, 2:09 to go. Gertis drives baseline, blocked away by Carter Hansen. First block for him. Carter goes coast to coast, lost it and then got it back. Underhand lay-in, got it to go. Carter Hansen, 6 points for him. 4-point lead for the Tanagers, biggest lead of the game, 14-10.
Yeah, you see Carter kind of reading the floor right there like a patient running back. I mean, he had no numbers advantage at all, but just kind of waited for Lennox to spread out, see that hole, and hit it like a running back.
60-second timeout called by head coach Jacob Henker. We'll take it with him. Back to the Birdcage in a minute.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome, Matt. Vermillion High School. Tanagers lead the Orioles in their second half of our Region 4A and DAC 12 doubleheader. 14-10 is your score. Again, thanks for tuning in. Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch alongside me, Spencer Buley. And with 1:49 to go in the first, Lennox will get it on the far side of the court, and they will throw it in. Cole Spieler is now in the ball game, as well as Talon Ike, both two subs in the ball game for the Orioles. Boston Katzerin drives. His lay-in is good, so Lennox has gone through the majority of the bench that they typically use in a ball game. And in for the Tanagers is number 13, Spencer Blanchette, so both teams with a couple subs in that timeout. Trey Hansen with 80 seconds to go in the quarter. Over to Blanchette and back to Trey. Trey to Carter. Back up Larson. Larson looks, almost had it poked away by Gertis. Now to Jensen, 9 on the shot clock. Jensen, he'll drive, fakes a shot, now kicks out Larson. 4 on the shot clock, 3, got to shoot. Trey will shoot a long one. In and out, no good, and the rebound is controlled by Drake Mickelson, the 6'5 center.
Great defensive possession there for Lennox, defending one-on-one drives, perfect overall, forcing a long 3, and no points for Vermillion.
Katzer kicks out Ike Gertis. He'll drive, lost it, got it back, lay-in is good. Good recovery there by Tate Gertis. First 2 points of the ball game for him, and we are tied up 14 apiece. About 2 seconds separate the shot clock and the game clock. So Trey will dribble it across slowly. Blanchette now deep left wing over to Hansen back at the Tanager logo. Jay Drake calling out some offensive instructions. Carter now with the count, and he lost it. 12 on the shot clock for Trey. Now 10, now 9. Trey now with 7, with 6. He'll get a screen from Carter. Step back, long 3, in and out, no good, off the back of the iron. Rebound saved by Carter into hands of Ike, and he will chuck it into the Vermillion student section, and that is how the first quarter will end. 14 apiece your score inside the Birdcage. Back to Vermillion High School in 60 seconds. Vermillion Tanagers Live, Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to the Birdcage Classic in between quarters. Student sections going back and forth. Trey Hansen out of control. He lost it, stolen away by Cole Spieler. He'll drive. Now Gertis has it left side. Gertis kicks into the quarter. Aiden Hansen's thought about the three. Both student sections start chanting, "Let's get fired up. We can't hear you." And then Lennox capped it off with "Let's play football." Classic comeback there. Three ball in the right corner is good. That time for Cole Spieler. So he gets the steal, and he eventually caps off the possession with a 3. They put it up as a 2 on the board, so we will check that in a moment. As of right now, the scoreboard says 16-14. Three ball the other way. That one's off the mark, and Spieler with the rebound, the 6'1 junior guard. He's got it back now, Mickelson. A little give and go, but he keeps it. Mickelson, lay in, no, but a foul called. And Drake Mickelson will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Trey Hansen, first personal, first team foul, as the scoreboard will stay with 16-14, and that's what Spencer Buley's got here. So I believe we're going to call Cole Spieler's right wing shot a long 2. Drake Mickelson at the free throw line, serenaded by Barks by the Vermillion student section, and he missed it quite a ways long. Student section, they'll let him know about that one. Boston Katzer checks in, and Tate Gertis will check out. Second free throw on the way for Mickelson is up, and that one's off the mark as well, no good. Rebound controlled by Gabe Larson, second of the ball game for him. 2-point deficit for the Tanagers, 16-14, a minute gone here in quarter number 2. Larson has it right wing over to Jensen. Fakes the handoff, now he'll try to drive on Spieler. Now kicks back out Carter Hansen. Hansen guarded by Mickelson, right wing. He'll drive middle. Spins back right, now looking for somebody to pass to. Gets it to Cerny. 10 on the shot clock for the Tanagers. Jensen kicks over Trey Hansen, guarded by Katzer. Shimmy shake and a drive right, lay in, no. But a shooting foul going to be called. Trey Hansen will go to the free throw line. Couple words exchanged between Trey Hansen and Boston Katzer. Now a couple words exchanged between Jacob Henker and our official. Just getting a clarification. First free throw for Trey is good. 3 points for him in the ball game. Trey Hansen the season so far, a 69.2% free throw shooter. Second free throw, in and out, and no good. 3 for 5 are the Tanagers. Leighton Smith with his 4th rebound of the ball game. Katzer fires a hot one over to Spieler, but he jumped up and caught it. Smith in the corner, serenaded by yells by the Vermillion student section. Mickelson underneath to Katzer, 10 feet. He'll spin, kick out. Cole Spieler, top of the key 3, in and out, no, off the iron a couple times. And the rebound to Trey Hansen. Quickly up ahead to Larson, hands it back off Jensen. Trey, now Carter, now Landon Cerny in the corner. Jensen, he'll take the straightaway 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound controlled by Katzer. Second rebound of the ball game for him. 1 point lead for the Orioles, 16-15. Drive, spin, Aiden Hansen, no good. Rebound, Gabe Larson, and he's got it. Third rebound of the ball game for him. Crowd filled back in a little bit there between games. Maybe just a couple concession stand and bathroom runs. Larson, right wing 3. Off back iron and no good. High point of the rebound did Boston Katzer. Still a 1 point ball game. 5:25 to play here in the second. Katzer drives. He's going to be bumped from behind. It'll be the first personal foul on Gabe Larson. Just the second team foul of the quarter, as well as the second team foul of the game.
Here we go again, Cole. Let's play football. I just don't love the chant. You know, I just don't love the... We're playing basketball, you know?
Well, but let's play football. And you Texans wouldn't understand good student section chants, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. You got that right.
Yeah, totally right.
Yeah.
Again, no love lost between these two student sections, programs at all. Again, these two teams have met, it seems like, consistently for the past couple of years in the playoffs, and it seems for the past couple of years that Vermillion has gotten the best of the Orioles. Offensive rebound putback is good for Leighton Smith. 2 points, now 5 rebounds in the ball game for him. 3-point game, 18-15. Carter Hansen to Larson. He'll dribble in the middle. Trey right wing. Crossover drive middle, kick out Carter. Carter hands off to Jensen. Jensen, he'll drive left baseline. Lost it. Cerny, right wing. 3-ball. Off back iron, no good. 6th rebound now for the big man, Leighton Smith. Listed at 6'4" and listed at a guard, I'd say those are both wrong. He must have grown a couple inches since the last height measurement preseason. Gertis, he'll step back, thought about the long 2, but he won't take it. 15 on the shot clock for the Orioles. Aiden Hansen drives in, up in her lay-in, no. Offensive rebound was tapped back in by somebody. I'm going to credit it to Aiden Hansen, and now a quick timeout called by Jay Drake. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Back to the Vermillion High School Birdcage in 30 seconds.
The Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today. Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to the Birdcage. Thanks for tuning in. Vermillion Tanagers Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch alongside me, Spencer Buley. 5-point ball game, 20-15 is your score between these two. I don't know if you quite call them bitter rivals yet, but they're increasingly becoming at that rate. Again, we talked about it in our pregame show. No love lost between these two programs, but should be an entertaining Region 4A DAC-12 game. Larson inside, partially blocked, and the rebound is controlled by Gertis. Hot pass up ahead. Lay in my Boston. Ketzer is good. 22-15. Again, this is a Lennox squad. Comes in scoring 68 points a game, and now Drake Mickelson, the steal and the slam for Drake Mickelson. 2 points for him. Now a full timeout called. No, it's going to be a 30-second timeout called by Jay Drake. Didn't like what he see out of the last timeout. Something tells me he's going to choose some rear end in this one. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed. And you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to the Birdcage. 24-15 out of the Jay Drake timeout. He has 3 remaining. Did not like what he saw out of those last 2 offensive possessions by the Tanagers, or the lack of their defensive possessions. That might have been a key contributing factor. Trey Hansen, 13 on the shot clock. He'll pull up long 3 off the mark and no. Carter Hansen gets the offensive rebound. It comes right back out to him. Fresh shot clock for the Tanagers. Jensen drives, contact, spins, lay in good. Luke Jensen, first 2 points of the ball game for him. 7-point game, 24-17. Gertis tries getting inside to Ike, and it's stolen away by Jensen. First steal for him. Tanager's back with possession, trying to get this thing back down to a 2-possession ball game. Larson's jab steps and a quick 3, no good. Gertis with the rebound. Vermillion settling a lot on the offensive side. Gertis lost it, out of bounds. See if we can get the replay rolling. Did it work? Did it work? It did. It's just a little ways behind.
I think we found our issue.
So we just keep letting it play. Game's also got a little error over there. That's on me. See what's last off of here, and inconclusive is what we're going to determine up here in the booth. So all that just to say we agree. We took it up to New York, and New York said not enough video evidence to overturn. Carter Hansen now to Gabe Larson in the corner. Blanchette back in the ball game. Trey lost it, now pull up. Long left wing three. Off the iron, no. Off the shot clock, no. Jay Drake not impressed with that last shot selection.
It's been a little bit of a struggle for Vermillion offensively. I mean, just 17 points right now. They had, 14 at the end of the first.
It was 14-14 at the first.
So 3 points here.
If you want to talk about a run, 10-3 in favor of the Lennox Orioles.
That's something we've seen out of, the girls' team, too, let Lennox go on a really big run in that game that really squandered most of their lead.
Luke Jensen, step back, right wing three. No. Now still no. But a rebound tapped out to Spencer Blanchette. Trey drives, underhanded off the bottom of the backboard. Vermillion just settling for a lot of bad shots on the offensive end. The other way, Katzer, count the bucket and the foul for Boston Katzer. So what Vermillion is struggling to do on their offensive end, Lennox is doing very well. Transition buckets, layups, not settling for three.
Yeah, and I think right now most of Vermillion here is just thinking to themselves, how do we get out of this second quarter and minimize the damage? That seems to be what the energy feels like, the momentum, the mindset right now.
7 points now for Boston Katzer, back up to a 10-point ball game, 27-17. And Tanagers, for a team that scores 68 points a game, have looked completely dysfunctional here in the second quarter. Blanchette drove in, but a foot difference between him and Tate Gertis, and Gertis blocked that one almost back into the stands.
I like the aggression, though, from Blanchette. I like him going in there, going up strong with confidence and trying to draw a foul.
Larson gets the rebound out of the Lennox miss. 27-17, 50 to go in the first half. Blanchette, Hansen, Larson for three, no good. Blanchette, the only Tanager in there fighting for a rebound, and it's off of him. So, like we said, a little bit of a size disadvantage for Spencer Blanchette in this game. However, like you said, gotta appreciate the hustle he's shown, the want to go to the hoop and finish.
Yeah, he's always kind of playing with, like he has a little bit of something to prove. Started the season, we discussed on Tuesday, started the season playing JV. He was playing varsity as well, but now he's moved into that varsity-only role here, but
three ball the other way is good. Boston Katzer, 10 points for him in the ball game. 13-point lead. It is a 16-3 run here in this second quarter for the Lennox Orioles. Trey Hansen back at the Tanager logo with 10. Trey wants to try to do it himself. He's got a count. Now over to Blanchette. Left wing three for him. In and out, no good. Katzer with the rebound. Three-quarter court heave. Off the shot clock and no good. And that is how the first half will end. Lennox scores 16. Vermillion scores 3. It is 30-17. Your halftime score. We're going to step aside when we come back. Potentially a couple interviews, maybe even some stats and analysis as well. That is on the way next. You're watching Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out Team Apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Out here,
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
All right, halftime here in the boys matchup between Vermillion and Lennox. Hopefully you can hear us over some very loud music here in the Birdcage. Got a nice dance performance going on, but I'm Spencer Buley here with Amara Thomas. Amara, thanks for coming up here. First off, Amara, obviously it's been a couple of games in a row where you guys have hit running clock, played some less competitive teams. Talk to me about how good it felt to be back on your home court playing a fast-paced game again.
Well, yeah, you're right. We've been playing some I don't really know, the teams that we were playing before. We got to let our bench get in the last half. So we played 32 minutes tonight. We had big role players step in. And, we were able to show up and show out in front of our own home crowd. So, yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely one of those role players tonight. 6 points, 6 rebounds, I think, a couple of steals, a block. How were you kind of able to see some success tonight against a very competitive Lennox team?
Yeah, well, we worked hard yesterday. We planned on top of it. We went maybe 35 minutes past our regular practice, and we put in the work. We stayed focused, and we came in and we executed everything, and yeah, we were able to pull through and show up.
Yeah, we saw, of course, Lennox going on a little bit of a run there in that second half, making things close after you guys were up, I think, 20 points. And with that, we saw a lot of emotion from John Brooks. What was he saying to you guys in those times where he was, expressing a lot of emotion on the sidelines?
With good teams, you expect it. No good team is just going to sit down and let you put them down. So we're expecting them to come out and fight in the second half, but we had to, jump into it and get the groove back going. And Brooks was just letting us know that we need to toughen up and get going again. But, yeah, we were able to get it together and maybe pushing it 15, maybe 12. So we were able to bring it back up. And, yeah, everybody showed up. We had some tough plays in the fourth quarter. Made us kind of bite our fingernail. So, yeah.
Was it more fun to kind of close out a game like that? Did you feel like it was kind of pushing you guys' focus at all?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when we got to the free throws, it came down to the free throws, and we were able to put them in. Madigan Wallen being able to put those in were big. Taylor holding on to the ball. And, yeah, Lennox is a very good team, and they didn't give up, so they kept on pushing us, and we pushed harder. So.
Yeah, you guys got a big matchup coming up against the undefeated Mapialuda team as well. Have you guys talked about preparation for them, what you're most excited about?
Brooks goes one game at a time, so we've been prepping for Lennox because they came first, and tomorrow we'll be back in here working hard and prepping for the next team to come. They're a really good team, and, it's always fun to play against good teams when you're a good team.
All right, well, Amara, thank you so much, and great job tonight.
Thank you.
All right, there. All right, there she was, Amara Thomas here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. Cole, we doing a halftime show? You want to roll it, or should we go to break here? What do you want to do? You're the man.
I didn't realize I turned yours down.
We flipped the wrong mics.
We're all over the place. We're going to step aside. When we come back, halftime stats and analysis, some scores from the state of South Dakota. That's on the way next. Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
To keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like
Welcome
Tanagers.
back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to the Birdcage. Halftime action of the boys contest, 30-17. The Orioles lead the Tanagers. Going to want to give a big shout out to Amara Thomas joining us on the halftime show. Want to give a shout out as well to Spencer Buley stepping in there. I basically threw him into the fire a little bit. I said, all right, you want to do an interview, you want to increase your portfolio, then here you go. And then you can get off my behind about things like that. Your halftime stats first for the Vermillion Tanagers. 6 points for Carter Hansen and Gabe Larson, 3 for Trey Hansen, 2 for Luke Jensen. Yes, that is it for the Vermillion Tanagers. The only second quarter points, Luke Jensen had a 2, Trey Hansen had a free throw. The only points scored by Vermillion, 14 in the first, 3 in the second. For the Lennox Orioles, Boston Katzer, double figures for him with 10. Aiden Hansen, after that 7-point performance in the first quarter, he finished the half with 9. Cole Spieler, Drake Mickelson, Tate Gertis, Tegan Musser, and Leighton Smith, all with 2 points in the ball game. They scored 14 in the first, 16 in the second for their total of 30 points. They went 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Spencer Buley, quickly before we take another break, second half. Was it more of Vermillion's offense struggling, or was it more of Lennox's, second quarter, was it more of Vermillion's offense struggling, or was it more of Lennox's defense doing a really good job?
Well, I think you had a little bit of both. I think that mostly, though, I would say it was Vermillion's offense struggling. Lennox is a very good defensive team, and they bring kind of a size advantage that Vermillion hasn't necessarily seen a ton throughout the early portion of this season. I think they're a little bit caught off guard by this Lennox defense, and I think that you kind of said it yourself, Cole, forcing shots that aren't necessarily good quality shots. So I think that's more of the story as far as this game goes. But I also do want to give a shout out to all the athletes that do come up and do interview with us, because we know that sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking for them, but we do love having them up here. We hope you guys love having them on stream. But yeah, it's always, I know you talk about portfolio, of course, that's fun, but do love getting to know these athletes and getting to put their voice out on the air for you guys. It's a lot of fun to have them up here on stream.
And like you said, a lot of them come up, like Amaris came up. They even get a warning from John Brooks saying she's really nervous. Came up here, gave a really good 3-minute interview, answered every question in really good length, and I'm sitting there thinking,
said, be nice to her.
Like if she's nervous, then what does that make me? I don't even think I could answer those questions as well as she did. I mean, she killed it. I mean, like you said, that's one of the better parts of getting to know each of these teams. And as always, after each game, we get a player and a coach. For the girls' side of things, because it's between games, we let John Brooks go over to the radio station, get his, and we always get a player. For the boys' game, it's always assistant coach Lewis Budmeyer and whoever he brings up with him. So usually we have to end those interviews because me and Bud like to talk a lot. And
Bud's a great guy.
He does.
Love having Bud up here, especially. I hadn't met Bud until this year, so it's been a blast having him up here. Love chatting with him while you're doing a player interview with whoever comes up here. So. Yeah, it's a ton of fun up here, and we love having all these athletes that are on stream for you guys.
30-17, we will begin the third quarter. The Lennox Orioles will start with possession of the basketball. They're going right to left on your screen in their away black uniforms, letters and numbers in orange, trimmed in orange and white. Vermillion Tanagers in their home whites, letters and numbers in red with some red and black trim. Katzer quickly starts over to Gertis, left side, he drives, contested, partially blocked, but stolen out of the air by Musser. His shot up, that one's no good. Ball is loose, controlled by Trey Hansen. Again, thanks for tuning in. Vermillion Tanagers live ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch, alongside me, Spencer Buley. I probably already said that 3 times in the last 30 seconds, but trying to get Spencer's name out there again, you know. He's always bugging me about that. Spencer and I up here.
Come on.
Spencer doesn't quite bug me as much as Heath Nimke always did during games, but I don't think anybody could ever bug me as much as Heath did during games.
Just here to have a good time.
Steal on the other side by Aiden Hansen. Now he's pressured in the backcourt, and now a foul going to be called on Trey Hansen. He looks and says, how is that a foul? And that Seemed pretty cut and dry from up here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, he's an aggressive defender. I mean, he's going to guard, especially point guards, close, outside of the perimeter. It's not a great foul to give, of course, but, I mean, he gets a lot of steals doing it. And so it's kind of one of those take what you can get type things. It's a trade-off for Trey Hansen. He's going to commit some fouls in the process, but he's also going to get some steals and fast break buckets out of it.
Musser inside, got the shot to go off the glass. 4 points for Tegan Musser. And just like that, 15-point game, 32-17 is your score. Tanagers struggling offensively, maybe even struggling more defensively. Can't get a shot to go, can't stop the Orioles from scoring. Orioles want to push. Katzer, other way, lay in, no. Foul going to be called on, I believe it's going to go on Gabe Larson for reaching across. Now it's going to go on Cerny. First personal, second team foul already. We're shooting more free throws. Katzer at the free throw line. Again, only player in double figures in the ball game. He's got 10. Now 11. Orioles are 2 of 4 from the free throw line.
And this is an unfamiliar spot for the Tanagers. We talked about it a little bit with the girls as well, because these are two kind of unfamiliar positioned games for them. But for the Tanagers right now to be doubled up in points, this is a spot they're not used to. So I think there's a lot of uncomfortability on the Tanager offense, and it's making shooting the ball extremely difficult for them right now.
3-ball, Trey Hansen in and out, no good, but a big offensive rebound that time by Landon Cerny. He'll kick back out to Trey in the corner. Yeah, as you said, you look at Vermillion's record as a foul called on Boston Katzer. You look at it, 7-1. You're thinking, okay, pretty good games. They've probably trailed a little bit, but the only game they've really trailed quite a bit, they came back and won in that loss against West Central. They led by a bunch, and they let a comeback late. That's been their only loss so far in the season. Again, like you said, uncharted territory.
Yeah, Bud Meyer especially has talked a lot about how the third quarter has been what's kind of defining this team. He even was saying, we can't really put our finger on what is causing us to have these shooting droughts and defensive struggles in the third quarter, but they are very prevalent. And especially when you're behind, you can't have that happen right now. As again, Cole, we've only seen 3 points scored since the first quarter ended.
Trey Hansen tried driving into Katzer, got knocked into a wall. Ball is loose, now a travel call on Carter Hansen. Rightfully so, Jay Drake is upset. You're going to say you're going to call it on one end and not the other. Again, but just Trey plays with that play style, plays a little loose, plays aggressive. Gets some calls sometimes, but not getting them today.
Yeah, and Carter's pretty strong with the ball inside. You don't normally see him lose possession that easily. So especially that's another thing that, Jay Drake and the coaching staff are saying or wanting a foul for.
Gertis inside, poked away and stolen by Trey Hansen. Second steal of the ball game for him. Let's see if the Tanagers can get some points on the board.
Got to capitalize on some of these turnovers.
Corner 3 on the right side. That one's off back iron and no for Jensen. And an uncontested rebound for Tate Gertis, now his 4th of the ball game.
I almost feel like Vermillion needs to start working inside out as far as shooting goes. They've got to start getting to the hoop and seeing the ball go into the basket just a couple times from around the block or whether it be a free throw, and then start working back out to that three-point line. Because right now it's kind of what we saw in the girls' game, Cole, just an hour ago when they were in that run against Lennox where they were trailing. They just resulted to 3-ball after 3-ball, not necessarily good ones either, and they just were never able to get back on track.
Gertis tried driving. Pass was stolen away across the baseline. And now a travel going to be called on Carter Hansen. We're going to say he's drug his foot. Let's see.
It was a travel.
Let's see if I can wait long enough. And now try it. That's the closest we've gotten so far again. We're going to say drug that back foot
it's a little
maybe
closer,
a little bit.
It's a little closer than I initially thought. But in real time, it looked like it was less of a drag and more of a stutter step that, like, when he caught the pass, there was almost an initial stutter step. And now we get a sideline warning on Jay Drake.
We're going to get a bench warning there on Jay Drake. Oh, that'd be why. The replay set to 10 seconds, Spencer. Let's change that to 5. And let's see if I can set up a system that I've been running off and on for the past 6 years. How about that? Gertis has it top of the key for the Orioles. Aiden Hansen back out to Smith. Katzer inside. He's going to be pushed from behind. Now 4 team fouls called on the Tanagers in this quarter. Second on Cerny. So Cerny's got 2, Trey Hansen with 2, Gabe Larson with 3, and Jay Drake with a team warning. Again, does not go down as a team foul, but noted in the scorebook.
Yeah, unfortunately right now there is nothing, if you will, going right for Vermillion. They're not doing anything right, and that's the reality of the last 12 minutes of basketball that they've played. They've got to pick it up, and I think a lot of it starts in the minds of these athletes. It's a lot of mental struggles right now on the court.
Hansen left wing, skip pass to Carter, now in the corner to Jensen. They're going to swing it back around. Blanchette left wing, kicks up Carter Hansen. He wants to drive now, kicks out. Jensen for 3, got it. 6 points after the end of the first quarter for the Tanagers. 9 in total for Gabe Larson. That gets the Tanager crowd back into it. Again, even with all these offensive struggles, still just a 14-point game. Very manageable for this Tanager squad. Gertis for 3. He tries to respond, no good. Offensive rebound, putback is good by Boston Katzer. 14 points using that size advantage as Blanchette was on him.
Yeah, they're going to have to crash the boards, defensively especially. But you go back to that 3 from Luke Jensen, Cole, it was a good look in rhythm.
Landon Cerny drives, count the bucket and the foul for the senior. First 2 points, the ball game for him. Are we finally seeing a bit of an offensive spark? Are the wheels starting to turn on the offensive end?
Yes, and I was talking, Luke Jensen, that three-pointer, that was drastically different than the three-pointers we've been seeing throughout this scoring drought for Vermillion. That was an open look, and Luke Jensen knew that was going to be his three-point shot from the corner, caught it in rhythm, easy catch and shoot, one you practiced 1,000,000 times and one he's knocked down 1,000,000 times.
Free throw is no good for Landon Cerny. Tanagers 3 of 6 from the line. Cats are now 7 rebounds. Gertis lost it. Ball is loose. Bodies on the floor. Jump ball called. Possession arrow points in favor of the Vermillion Tanagers. Now we're going to try to get a towel, as I can about imagine what that floor is. And now we're going to get a timeout called by head coach Jacob Hinker. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We're going to step aside and take one with him back to Vermillion High School in 30 seconds.
Great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the Tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Timeouts are more than just a break. Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Student sections going back and forth here in quarter number 3. It is 36-22. Let me hear your Oriole pride. Let's get fired up. Why so quiet? All back and forth in the span of a 30-second timeout. And thanks for tuning in. Vermillion Tanagers live and live ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch. Spencer Buley, my just about said cameraman. I'm sure he's
thankfully not.
He's running a camera over there. Producer, statistician, maybe we think. Carter Hansen spins, tough shot, forced a shot, tried to get in over Katzer, and that one was no good. Talon Ike gets his name in the stat book. He's officially got a rebound. Gertis kicks over Musser. Backdoor cut to Gertis. One dribble, pull up, got it. Good play there by Gertis and Musser, but a really good recovery that time by Gertis. Lost underneath, got calm possession of it, took a power dribble, and went back up. 16-point game, 38-22.
Yeah, that's a heck of a pass inside by Musser, and those are just the types of possessions that we haven't quite seen from the Tanagers in this Lennox run, is those quick pass and cuts and great finds.
Again, at the end of the first quarter, this game was 14 apiece. Offensive rebound by Drake Mickelson. Shot blocked away. Trey Hansen with the foul. Third personal, 5th team foul, so we're shooting some free throws here in quarter number 3.
Oh, it was close. It was close.
See, now you don't have to wait as long because now it's set to 5 seconds. See?
Yep,
So,
yep. Wow, hey.
Yeah, learning curve for everybody. Again, if I would have just set up the instant replay properly the first time, we wouldn't have had to deal with this. Now Trey Hansen will sub off, and Gabe Larson will sub on as he's got 3 personal fouls. First free throw no good for Mickelson. If my memory serves, he's 0 for 3 in the ball game from the line. Second one, 0 for 4. Big rebound by Landon Cerny, but it fell into the lap of Gabe Larson. Carter Hansen to bring it up. Gets it over to Blanchette. Larson, now Carter Hansen, thought about the long three, didn't take it. He's still got it top of the key. Blanchette left side. He'll try to make a move, now kicks over Larson. 16 on the shot clock for the Tanagers, 2 minutes to go in the third. Blanchette sets and fires from the right side. That one's off the mark and no. Running rebound controlled by Tate Gertis. He's got 5, coast to coast. Now he'll slide a little bit and set up a little bit of offense. Musser's got it to Gertis. Dribble weave. Drives in. Lay in. Blocked away from behind. Carter Hansen. Recovered by Musser. Ball is still loose. And now we're going to get a held ball called as Larson and Gertis went after it. Possession arrow points in favor of the Lennox Orioles.
Well, I tell you what, if there was any question about Trey Hansen's last call being a foul, the refs may have made it up for him there, as I thought for sure Tegan Musser was fouled going back up with that. But, you know, Vermillion playing some good defense here. Trying to get something going on. They got a little bit going on the offense into the floor, but got to make stops with that.
Again, just 8 points for them since the first quarter, but they've also only held Lennox, I was going to say to 24, now make it 27 out of the 3 of Talon Ike. 3 points for him now in the ball game. 19-point game, 41-22. Carter Hansen spins, shot up, no good. Once again, rebound controlled by Spieler.
Yeah, Cole, unfortunately, this is a game that's, the way the shooting has unfolded for Vermillion, it's not necessarily a shock, as they've shot the ball so well all season, they were due at some point to have a game where they weren't going to get them to drop.
Katzer tries driving on Cerny, spins back, left-handed lay-in, no, put back is good. 16 points, 9 rebounds for Boston Katzer. 21-point ball game, 43-22. Carter Hansen over to Jensen. He'll pull up left wing 3. And once again, Vermillion just content with forcing up some 3-pointers. Gertis with the shot clock off for the Lennox Orioles, looking to maybe take the last second shot. He'll kick out Ike now to Katzer. Yes, that is exactly what they were doing, or else Ike would have fired that one up. Katzer now with 12. Now with 10, they get it to Gertis, back at the logo. Gertis surveys, drives, kicks out. Spieler for 3. Gonna miss just about everything. Larson with the rebound with 2, with 1. 40-footer off back iron and no good. And that is how the third quarter will end. 43-22 your score. We're going to step aside. Fourth quarter action on the way next. You're watching Vermillion Tanager basketball on Live Ticket TV.
They're an opportunity. At Blue 10 Design and Marketing, we help small town businesses shine. Just like your team on game day. From creative branding to digital marketing, we're here to support your community. Let's build something great together. Visit blue10design.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box. Proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back, Vermillion Tanagers Live Ticket TV. The Tanagers will start with possession of the basketball going left to right. Cerny's got it top of the key. Jensen back to Cerny. Trey Hansen, right wing 3, got it to go. 6 points now for Trey Hansen. And this is almost the most points that the Tanagers have scored in a quarter since the first. Quickly up ahead, Katzer, 18 points now for him, back to a 20-point ball game. Got to play a little bit of defense, though, if you're Vermillion, if you want to try to keep yourself in this one. Trey, long one. Going to miss quite a ways short, but an offensive rebound by his older brother, Carter. Inside, kicks out, Jensen for 3. That one's short, no good. Double-double for Boston Katzer, 18 points, 10 rebounds in the ball game for him. And Spencer, not exactly how you want to draw up start the fourth quarter.
No, this is probably – well, aside from the Trey Hansen three, I was going to say I'm not sure you could draw up a worse start to the fourth quarter, and Jay Drake knows it. He'll quickly take a timeout.
It'll be a 60-second timeout for Jay Drake, hand on hip, water bottle in hand. We're going to take it with him back to the birdcage in a minute on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Mixed Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mixed Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregate, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mixed Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
CoreCares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. CoreCares, proudly serving our community.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back, Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. The Orioles are up big on the Tanagers, 22-point lead, 47-25. Carter Hansen spins inside, kicks out Jensen. Got it, right wing. Luke Jensen now 5 points for him in the ball game. It is 47-28. If you need something going, you got to start getting it fast if you are the Vermillion Tanagers again. This is a very good Lennox Orioles squad. Some people might look at the record 6-2. On Tuesday, they lost to the consensus state champion, if you ask the media right now, in Western Christian of Iowa, heavily favored to win the championship in their class in Iowa. Katzer responds with a three of his own. Again, they were held pretty scoreless there in that game on Tuesday, and they are firing just about on all cylinders here tonight. Jensen inside, he spins. His shot is off the mark and no good, but a foul going to be called. Drake Mickelson, I believe, is who they called it on. Yes, first personal, first team foul. So 2 free throws on the way for Luke Jensen. Jensen, he is 10 of 11 on the season from the free throw line. Make that 10 of 12.
And Cole, as we talk about the struggles of Vermillion tonight, I mean, you have to give this Lennox team so much credit because they have shot the lights out. They have buried three-pointers all night long. Anytime that Vermillion has gotten momentum, it has just been sucked out of this arena by a Lennox three-pointer.
What little momentum they've had in this game.
Right,
So, I mean,
right.
you think about it, sure, Lennox has had their own offensive struggles so far in the ball game, but they are just dominating the offensive glass. They are dominating on the defensive end. And just like that, now they're shooting lights out. Aiden Hansen with a three, now 12 points for him. We haven't heard from him since the first half. But he puts up a three, and now Trey Hansen on the drive. He's going to be fouled. I believe it's going to go on Katzer. No, excuse me, Leighton Smith. Second personal, second team foul on Leighton Smith. With those 2 missed free throws, Tanager's now 3 of 8 from the free throw line. Carter Hansen drives in. He can't get that little bunny to fall. Musser with a rebound, and then he lost it. Gertis did. Carter Hansen tips it up ahead to Trey. Euro step, contact. And a foul going to be called. I believe they're going to say on the ground on Tegan Musser, so no free throws.
I believe that's right call.
Yeah.
Because Trey was clearly going for a Euro step. There definitely was no shooting motion.
Wasn't in his shooting motion unless you consider his continuation, which there was none. He got stopped in his tracks. Third personal on Musser, third team foul. 53-28, 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Trey Hansen kicks out Larson. He'll fire one up. That one's off the mark and no good. Rebound controlled by Aiden Hansen. You know Spencer Buley, I would hate to know what the Tanagers are shooting on the offensive side of the ball right now. I don't even think I want to look. I think the number would be so low that I would go blind. I don't know.
18%. Let's take a stab at it.
I think that might even be generous. As Musser goes in, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Lennox. It's not like we're just downplaying Vermillion because they're playing so bad. This is a Lennox squad that averages giving up just 45 points a game, and that's with giving up 60-plus last game.
Right,
I mean, this is a very good defensive team.
Yeah, I mean, we're downplaying Vermillion because we're broadcasting on Vermillion Tanagers Live. We've watched this team all season long, and we know the ins and outs of this team. But Lennox, I mean, you said it. They've got a great defense, and they've shown it here tonight. I mean, there has been no lack of this. This is not an offensive performance that's totally just Vermillion shooting itself in the foot. This is a great Lennox defense as well that's causing these Vermillion offensive issues.
Halfway through the fourth quarter, we're going to get a substitution timeout as both teams start to go to their benches. Good call by our Stripes there. We'll get all the numbers as we see them here. It is for Lennox, number 14, Talon Ike, number 15, Cole Spieler, number 25, Tegan Musser, so not quite fully into their bench. Number 3, Jackson Bittner, and number 5, Cade Sherrard are in there for the Lennox Orioles. Carson Preister checks into the ball game for the first time. Carter Hansen, Luke Jensen, Spencer Blanchette, and now Cade Roovers out there. So maybe not quite a full bench emptying, but a quick 3 that time by Cole Spieler. Now 5 points for him in the ball game. And we have hit running clock here inside the birdcage, 58-28. Jensen drives, a foul going to be called, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. And it's just like you said, Spencer, I mean, this crowd was raucous there in that first half when Vermillion, they had it tied 14-14. And ever since then, I mean, it has been quiet.
Yeah, I may not be able to speak for Lennox fans when I say this, but this is surprising. I mean, I think that a lot of people around the state expected this to be a much better basketball game than what's turned out. I mean, just the fact that we've hit running clock, I wouldn't have guessed that at all. You could offer me money to bet on that. I would have told you no way.
New sub in for Vermillion is the senior Sean Doan. He's in there as well. And there was one more for the Lennox Orioles, I believe. Yes, it's number 30. Brennan Juffer is in there, and I believe Tegan Musser went out. Shot up and no good. Blanchette with the rebound again. No love lost between these two fan bases, programs. This one's over. Let's play football. All kinds of things coming out from this Lennox student section.
Waiting for well, you know what? Never mind. That wouldn't work.
Start the cars, maybe?
Start the cars, I guess.
So that was always one of the better ones in high school. Everybody got their keys out of their pocket and start the buses.
Start the bus. Yep, that's a classic.
Now they're doing Let's Play Volleyball, so trying to get a little creative.
Yeah, baseball now.
Let's play baseball. I mean, they're just going down the list. I mean, nobody in the student section is interested in playing basketball right now. That's what I'm. That is
the worst part, Cole. They were never interested from the start.
Yeah.
From the start, it's been let's play football. All right, boys, we're playing some basketball. How about it?
Grant Rohrig checks in, and Luke Jensen comes off for the Tanagers. Eli Plank comes in for the Lennox Orioles. To get an inside shot up and good by Sean Doan. And there was one more Lennox substitution. I'm not sure who it was. I'm trying to figure it out as we speak. Lay in no good by Sherrard. Rebound tapped around to Rohrig. There might not have been another Lennox substitution. I might be imagining it. Blanchette drives, and now a foul going to be called on the drive, so whoa. Not sure what the Lennox student section just said, but somebody in the Vermillion said, you can't say that, we beat your blank.
Yeah, I wish softball?
I honestly could not even tell you, and I'm trying not to listen to it, to be completely honest with you.
The Vermillion student section is saying y'all lost. So
interesting.
Whatever they're yapping about, somebody from Lennox had it wrong.
Jevin Leifers checked in. Both free throws are good by Spencer Blanchette. Now 7 of 12 in the ball game from the line are the Vermillion Tanagers. 58-34, getting just a minute 15 to go. We'll have a full recap of this one as well as the girls' game. I can't even understand what they're saying.
I've lost it.
I've completely given up. It might just be my old man ears over here in my headset that's turned up way too loud.
You're closer than I am, so you'll have to keep me updated.
3 ball off the mark that time for Eli Plank, and the rebound is controlled by Cade Roovers. As Lennox fans starting to pack up their things. Blanchette for 3 is off the mark and no. Jevin Leifers with the defensive rebound. 40 seconds to go. 58-34. I believe that one would start the buses.
Start the bus, but the Vermillion doesn't have a bus.
Doesn't work that way, I guess.
Yep, Vermillion's letting them know. Yeah, I guess what Vermillion has is women's basketball. How about it? How about a girls' basketball chant back at them?
15 seconds to go. Blanchette will just pick it up, and he will hold it. No, he'll start passing around. Roovers with 8. Back to Blanchette. Jabs. Now he'll drive middle. Blanchette, jump stop, lay-in is good. Good move there by Spencer Blanchette. He'll end the game with 4 points. That is how the ball game will end, 58-36. Your final score here in the boys' game. The Lennox Orioles, again, number 5 team according to the Class A media poll. They will move to 7-2 on their season. The Vermillion Tanagers will fall to 7-2 on their season. We're going to step aside when we come back. It is a full recap of Game 1 and Game 2, as well as post-game, potentially, interviews. That is on the way next. You're watching Tanager Basketball on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dog. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
The best way to get through winter is to start planning for spring. And Grossenberg has new Honda walk-behind self-propelled mowers in stock. 3 models to choose from, residential up to commercial grade, starting at $900. Each mower features a powerful, reliable Honda GVC 200 engine, cruise control, and roto-stop technology that allows you to step away from the mower without stopping the engine. Get ready for spring with a new Honda mower from Grossenberg. Stop by one of our 9 locations today or go to grossenberg.com for more details.
Do you have a pest problem?
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back, Vermillion Tanagers Live Ticket TV post-game show here from inside the birdcage. Well, we had 1 out of the 2 games go the proper way, you might say, for the Vermillion Tanagers. The second game did not end up that way. Your final score here in the boys' contest, 58-36 in favor of the Lennox Orioles. First, the stats for the Vermillion Tanagers, 9 points was the leading scorer, was Gabe Larson. 6 rebounds for him as well. 7 points for Luke Jensen. 6 points apiece for each half of the Hansen clan. 4 points for Spencer Blanchette, all late in that fourth quarter. 2 for Landon Cerny. They shot 7 of 12 from the free throw line. 14 in the first and 14 in the fourth. Bookmark those two. We'll get back to that after the Lennox recap. Again, 14 in each half, or in each end of this game. For the Lennox Orioles, their leading scorer, Boston Katzer, 23 points, 11 rebounds for him in the ball game. Aiden Hansen followed that up with 12 points, 3 rebounds for him as well. Then just down the stat sheet as I see it numerically, Leighton Smith, 2 points, 6 rebounds for him. Talon Ike with a 3 and a rebound. Cole Spieler, 5 points, 3 rebounds for him. Drake Mickelson with 2 and 2 rebounds for him. Tate Gertis, 4 points, 6 boards, 3 assists. And Tegan Musser with 6 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. Lennox scores, they shot 3 of 6 from the free throw line. 14 in the first, 16 in the second, 13 in the third, and 15 in the fourth for their total of 56 points. Back to the Vermillion Tanagers, 14 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third, 14 in the fourth for their grand total of 36 points. Again, Lennox will go to 7-2. Vermillion will fall to 7-2. Spencer Buley, got to give a lot of credit to Lennox. We don't want to understate that enough. This is a very good Lennox squad. They're ranked 5 in the media poll for a reason. 2 of their losses have been against really tough teams, including a really tough Western Christian of Iowa team back on Tuesday. But as we turn it over to the Vermillion side, it just seemed like an all-around struggle. Defensively, they might be able to hang their hat on a little bit. This is a Lennox team that comes in averaging 68 points a game. You held them to 58. But you score 8 points in the second and third quarter combined.
Yes, the third quarter struggle continued. I mean, here's the thing. You look at the way Vermillion's season has gone is they are a really, really good shooting team. That's great, but what that means is that on a night when your shots aren't falling, which is going to happen, this is basketball. You're not going to come out and shoot 60% from the field every single game. But when the shots aren't falling, I think the question is, what can Vermillion turn to when they're not knocking down threes, when they're not hitting their pull-up jumpers from around the arc? And I think that was the bigger question tonight was, where can Vermillion go when they're not automatic from three-point, from long two-pointers? And I don't think we saw an answer to that question tonight. I think we saw a lot of drives that resulted in either steals, turnovers, attempts at fouls drawn that didn't get called. We saw, the rebounding wasn't terrible, but for the most part, Vermillion didn't have an answer for their struggle tonight when they couldn't shoot the basketball.
And your final score, 58-36. You turn over to the Lennox side, it just seemed like whenever Vermillion got a little bit of a breath of life, they took it right out of the gym. I mean, they shot for a little bit of the game not very well, but for the grand scheme of things, they shot pretty well, and they're a tough team.
Absolutely. They killed it. I mean, they killed it tonight. They were the exact opposite of Vermillion. They fired on all cylinders. They rebounded extremely well. They played great defense, and they, most of all, like you said, they shot the ball so well from behind the arc, and that's what a good team does. That's what a top 5 team in the media poll does. Is it's not easy to win at home. It's not easy to win in the DAC-12. It's not easy to win in Region 4. But especially when you come into a place like the Birdcage, the Tanagers are never going to be out of it. And everybody knows that with the way that they shoot the basketball. So them being able to shut down any momentum, coming up with a quick three, getting inside, drawing a foul, knocking down the free throws, that's what a top 5 team does. And I think this Lennox squad has a really bright future ahead of them this season.
Again, both teams will now move to 7-2 respectively. And again, we talk back over to the Vermillion side. It's important. Obviously, you want to learn some things from this game. There's a lot of things you can improve on. But it's also kind of important that you have to come into one of these games and just kind of flush it away.
Right.
Obviously, bad offensive performance here in front of the home crowd. You're not back home till next Thursday. I mean, you're going to have a little bit of time to stew on it, but how fast do you think Jay Drake and his squad kind of turn this around and say, all right, enough of that one, flush it away in the loss column, let's move forward?
I mean, it's going to be rapid, and assuming that, we may get an interview with Coach Budmeyer tonight, that's a great thing that I'm sure he'd love to talk about as well. But I think that a game like this is going to happen throughout the season where you don't shoot the ball well, you get blown out. It's basketball. It happens. You play a ton of games. It's just a part of the season. No, you're not going to find very many teams in the world that can go undefeated at any level or simply one loss. But you've just got to wipe it off. You've got to wipe it off. You've got to move on to the next one. And you turn your eyes ahead. If you dwell on it, you're in trouble.
Again, your final score, 58-36. As now we bring in, after every game, win or loss, rain or shine, it's assistant coach Lewis Budmeyer. And, Coach, rough day at the office.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all credit to Lennox. We always preach to the kid coming out with urgency. We know the situation in our region. We know the PowerPoint system, how it works. And they come out with a sense of urgency. I'm thinking the Western Christian loss on Tuesday sparked a little bit. And like we talked about before the game, too, just the rivalry between us. They threw the first punch, and we just never countered. They just kept throwing haymakers at us. They physically wore us down. They did all the things that we pride ourselves on, and tonight we just didn't get the job done. So all credit to Lennox. That's a heck of a basketball team. They're well coached with Coach Hinker taking over the helm there. Well, obviously we know I-29 is the best basketball in the state, and Region 4 is the best region in the state, and that's just what it is. So that's kind of like the new age of basketball is high variance, it seems like, with the art of the three-point shot. We took bad ones tonight. Couldn't get it going offensively. But, yeah, overall, I mean, disappointing night. All credit to Lennox, but I guess we just got to move on.
Again, after the end of the first quarter, we were all tied up 14-14, and they come out, and it's 16-3 in that second. Was it just something that they changed defensively, or was it just, like we kind of mentioned up here, maybe the quality of shot maybe not as good? It seemed like you weren't driving in as much as kind of settling for a lot of threes, or was it just what they were doing defensively?
I'd give credit to them. They're physically very strong. They're strong kids. Obviously, a state football title. A lot of those guys are football kids out there. Led them to a state title with Boston Katzer, and then you got Gertis, who is their running back. They're big physical kids, and we didn't match their physicality. They pressured us up front. They made us run our offense from NBA range and beyond. We never got the ball inside the arc, and we always preach on offense paint touches, and we were very limited paint touches. And I think if you could take some advanced numbers of when we have a paint touch, our efficiency is so high, and we didn't get paint touches tonight because they just physically took us out of our game. Their game plan obviously was to pressure us. That's kind of been the MO of Lennox the last couple of years. In the region games, we've been able to handle it and find a way to grind through it. But tonight, either it was mentally, could be a lot of different factors. You never know with sports. The fine line of sports in high school, it could be many different things going on.
Yep.
But I would give all the credit to Lennox with their pressure defensively. Got us messed up, and we just couldn't adjust, which is disappointing because we usually are a team that we figure things out as it goes. And then we just weren't taking quality shots, didn't move the basketball. Defensively, we were good in spurts. But then we allowed when we can't score the basketball. We let the worst thing happen, and then we weren't getting stops at the same time. Like if you can't score but you go get stops, well, it's a wash. It's the same thing. We're at the same point in the game. But overall, their defensive pressure gave us fits, and we didn't find a way to adjust.
Again, 58-36 final. Tally this one in the wrong side of the column, but when you look at the whole grand scheme of things, it's just the second one all year. Still 7-2. Still got a lot of games left. How fast do you kind of just turn it around and say, all right, let's get rid of that one. Let's move on to EPJ on Tuesday?
Well, as a competitor, I hope it hurts them tonight. They brought some fans in tonight. They were cheering. They were letting us know about it. And hopefully that cuts deep as a competitor. I know how I naturally am, even when they just play Let's Play football, being a football coach. I mean, it cuts, and it should. If you're a competitor, that should hurt. And hopefully it does, and it drives us to be more aggressive in practice, attacking every rep. But hopefully let it hurt tonight. You hit the reset button. The beautiful thing about basketball and where we're at now, you're hopefully guaranteed 20 games. This is game 9, so we got still the whole back stretch to go. It's a long season, and we met a state tournament quality team, and they got the best of us tonight. Reset. Got a good, solid another region EPJ team, a scrappy team coming that we got going on Tuesday, and then kind of just reset and get back to the grind.
Yeah, exactly like you said. No matter how tough the game it is, you got to keep going. And because you play in the Region 4A and the DAC 12, it's a lot of tough games. But, Coach, forge on forward. Best of luck on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Thanks, Cole.
Again, assistant coach Louis Bodmeyer joins us after every game. Like I said, win or loss, rain or shine. A lot of rain, you could say, here in this one. But let's turn it back over to the first half of our doubleheader. Big win for the Tanager girls, 59-47 final score over the very good Lennox Orioles. They moved to 9-1 in their season. That's a big win for them. I mean, we got to remember that we had 2 games here tonight. It seemed like completely contrasting ones, like obviously 1 win and 1 loss, but you got to give a lot of credit to the Vermillion girls. They took on a tough Lennox squad and got the win.
Absolutely, and I'm fired up for the girls. I mean, to have as many role players as they did step up tonight, I mean, They were up by 20 at one point, but they weren't always up by 20. Lennox went on a great run there and brought that game pretty close heading into the back half of the second half. And to see some players that we don't always see in the scoring columns putting up big numbers step up was awesome. And I think that's going to give this team so much confidence going forward.
Again, 59-47 for the girls. They will move to 9-1 their next game on Saturday. They will take on number 3 ranked Mockpia Luta in the Corn Palace 42nd Annual Hanson Classic, all streamed at beavers.liveticket.tv. I'm sure Tim Smith will be on the call for a majority of those games. Our next action here on Vermillion Tanagers Live on Tuesday, the girls and boys will travel to a road doubleheader over in Elk Point, so a short little drive. Elk Point Jefferson, pregame scheduled to start about 5:30, 5:45. Girls varsity, then boys to follow. Spencer, lot that both these teams can learn from this game. One of them has a quicker turnaround. One of them doesn't, but still, got to love some DAC 12 basketball, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's things to learn for both these teams. I mean, the girls won, but as we said, there was a quarter in there where they struggled as well. And, I mean, their boys, sound like broken records up here, tons to learn for them. But, yeah, it's going to be fun for both these teams moving forward.
Again, 1-1 in a tough Region 4A and DAC 12 doubleheader. The girls will play on Saturday, 8:30 p.m. in the Corn Palace, and then both boys and girls will play in Elk Point Jefferson High School over in Elk Point. We'll have both those games for you right here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. For Spencer Buley, I'm Cole Larsch. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Tuesday over in Elk Point. And until then, everybody have a wonderful rest of your weekend.